matters arising. This is a third-party narrative. The captain informed the house that the club is or was making progress. This is a third-party narrative. Thank you.
Okay. 4.1 was? Thank you for the observation. 4.3, medical committee feedback.
Under the same matters arising, if you look at the third line, where it was written, he is hopeful. Still third-party narrative. This is reporting. He was hopeful that the amendment made. Thank you.
Which place is that? Okay, thank you. Barrister Bayosedo.
Thank you, Mr. Captain. I want to suggest that we leave the rest of such corrections to the Secretary, because we are likely to call about such tenses. I've seen several, so we should just advise the Secretary to render the report in the past tense.
Okay.
Thank you.
Apologies about that, and we will all take the blame for that, and we correct that. 4.5, equipment fundraising. .6, trusteeship registration. 4.7, rain sheet. 4.8, voting rights. 5.0, Treasurer's report. 5.1, 5.3, Five point 5.7. Five point eight. 5.9. 5.10. 5.11. Okay, thank you. House 5.11. Typographical error. 5.12. Yeah.
Yes, please. It's very, this is not in terms of what.
There's full stop.
It should have been full stop because
It's a full
it's a full
sentence,
stop,
complete
yes.
sentence.
Complete sentence. Then you can now go into the next one.
5.13. 6.0, Captain's Report. 6.11. I want to seek our indulgence at this moment to please respect some of our members who have gone to be with the Lord in the course of this financial year. So, having reached this section, and since we omitted it at the beginning of this meeting, in the likes of Baba TJ and General O.S. Shuleye that was laid to rest today, I seek our indulgence to please observe 1 minute silence for them. I don't think 6.2, removal of the word D. After Captain's report, past Captain Shegun Ali. So no comma after. 6.2. Remove the comma. 7.0. 7.1. That was the appointment of members of the electoral committee. 7.2. 7.4. 8.0, appointment of members of this Constitutional Review Committee. 8.1. 8.2. 9.0 AOB. 9.1. 9.2. 9.3. 9.4. 9.5. 9.6. 9.7. 9.8. 9.9. 9.10. 9.11. 9.12. 9.13. 9.15. 9.16. 9.17. 9.18. 9.19. 9.00. 9.21. 9.22. 9.23. 9.24. 9.25. 10.0. Adjournment. 10.1. 11.0. Closing. Thank you so much. We have come to the end of the minutes of the half-yearly meeting held on 21st October 2022. I want to thereby ask the House whether, subject to all this correction, this minute is represents all that was discussed during our half-yearly general meeting, and whether it should be adopted or not. Motion for adoption, please. motion for adoption of this minute? Or it is not constitutionally correct? Mr. Past Captain Bayo Aderinto, Prince Bayo Aderinto.
All protocols observed. Whereas I was present at the form discussed meeting, which has been duly adopted, I so move the adoption. Thank you.
Thank you so much. To be seconded by who, please? Otumba Abimbola Davis, the only Ajirogun of Ibadan land.
We are always following each other, myself and the past captain.
You are running mates. You know you are the past captain in secondary school.
Yes, so. Salvation Army. In accordance to the constitution of Ibadan Golf Club, I second the motion of Prince Bayo Aderinto that the minutes be adopted. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Having adopted the minutes, we now quickly go through the matters arising from the minutes. 4.1. On the issue of the accommodation suit that we are working on with the GOC, and just like some of us that are familiar with the barracks, is soldier goes, soldier comes. We've not really been able to have a stable GOC. The then GOC that we did a sent forth for tried his best to help us with the incoming GOC then. When that one came in, we paid him a visit, discussed the issue with him, and just like some of us are quite aware, they always want to take their time because they are new on the desk and trying to study the files and look into it. And the discussion is still the fact that we get to you over it, that you wouldn't want to commit an error or mistake. And shortly after, they brought in another GOC again. But we are not relenting on that. We approached some people that are high there in the army rank, and they were trying to help us. Even as our last week, we pushed the button to that extent. We got to, with the GOC before this one, the question then was that, look, this project, where it's been taking us time, we are tenants on the Nigerian Army's land. Now we want to sublet, because when you look at this, it's like a tripartite agreement between the builders, Ibadan Golf Club, and possibly the Nigerian Army. That might not really augur well. That if peradventure is going to be the fact that, for the fact that we are the one building the project, the hotel, it will be easy for him for approval. But nonetheless, while the process of pushing the button or the up there, specifically with the chief of Army's operation, not chief of staff, who is the head of all this GOC, we discovered that a question whether we actually have approval from the Nigerian Army headquarters. And we briefing that we have approval from the GOC. He queried the fact that, look, no GOC should be able to give that approval. So we are now at crossroad, but we want to fly past that if we are now, because of the link and the connection that we have there, it's like, look, even if that process, that error has been committed by the GOC giving us the usage of this place or whatsoever, the approval to do whatsoever we want to do, that we can still do something about it. So it is on that stage that we are now. So it might cost us a visit to Abuja and write another fresh proposal, another application with respect to the usage to do this. So that is the stage we are on it now. So, but because of the election and all that stuff, we are not able to meet him as scheduled then. But we still pursue the vision and make sure it comes to a reality. On the medical, 4.3, on the medical committee feedback, we are still at crossroad with the facilitator for the training session. And I don't think maybe we have to subsidize it for members, because they are actually expecting that members should pay for that training, which is at high cost. And we thought the link and our connection. Thank God, Professor Temitope Alonge is here. I think we'll be able to help us out, use his link and connection to be able to talk to these people and come down on their negotiation requirements. I want to say that, you see, when we appoint people into a committee, it will do us good if we take the assignment seriously. Most of the people that are in that committee, they call meetings, they won't attend. It's only one or two of them that actually took that assignment seriously. That's the person of the chairman himself, Dr. Obileye, my apology, please. Only Dr. Obileye and the then former lady captain. So we want to still appeal to that committee to come alive this time around and take that job seriously. The whole house is giving them that assignment. We had a sick bay that I want to believe in this first quarter, we are going to commission it officially and put it into use. Because it's very, very key. Just 3 days ago, I lost my friend, a neighbor of mine, known to some of us here, and I was quite helpless because the man just had cardiac arrest and nobody to help him. And by the time the madam came around, was shouting, and by the time I got there, the man had gone. Even if I was there, there was nothing I could do. So I think that I've gotten this training to some extent. Even though it was late, I believe the man had gone for a long time, because something would have happened around 5, 6. And it was around 8:39 that they got to know they are calling him, he was not responding. And so, I just believe having this training will be of benefit to you and I in helping our neighbors in case of emergency like this. On the issue of 4.4, the kitchen, I believe there is an improvement in the turnaround of the kitchen, even though our kitchen is not in proper shape. And I believe we've tried our possible best, and it will be a great task for the new house and bar to please look for a corporate kitchen. The hope that we had before is the issue of cost that actually that didn't make the proposal to fly. But we are still of hope that the new incoming house and bar will get a new kitchen. What our members, let me talk about that one. Were affordable to us anyway. Equipment fundraising. That one has been done. I will give a report about it at the end in the captain's report. We want to appreciate people that have generously donated. Otumba Bivola Davis, please.
Mike Apo.
Yes, sir.
On the issue of the accommodation, the building there, I've been trying to control myself not to talk about it. But because I can no longer hide it. I remember in the AGM of 2021, upstairs, I told you about the house, about the efforts that myself and past captain, late captain, Dudu Heritage, actually made over it. I went as far as telling you that we actually spoke to General Absalam Abaka, who happened to be my chairman in my center. And that arrangement was made to meet with the then chief of army staff. And I then suggested that Colonel Sumonu should be in the team, that we should work on it. Sadly, nobody, I mean it, including from the ESCO or elsewhere, has ever come back to me to ask how far about this thing. Can we really activate it? And so we are now about to lose that land. So I want to implore you to do more before we lose the land. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that observation. And the ESCO will take the blame for that. I equally want to ask you that in case of next time, please remind the ESCO. Please, we gave you assignment. You know, you volunteer to be part of the team. And when you have the link, there's need for us, what about this project that we have at hand? Is a reminder. There are fires on the mountain going on within the ESCO room or the boardroom. But nonetheless, it will cost you nothing to do so next time. And on that note, I want to ask that Colonel Sumonu, Otumba Bimbola Davis, and any other colonel in the house or military background, retired CP Junard, to please work together, sir.
You have a member of this club who is a serving general in the army today and is well located. Major General Tokumbo Fabayimiwo should be written personally to take responsibility for this assignment. I so suggest.
Thank you. That is in addition to the committee that will give us progress report on this. So, Otumba, you said what?
I would suggest that we have a trustee also on that team.
I will put our able and former two-time governors,
God bless you,
Governor Oyinlola, to be amongst the committee.
To chair the committee.
To chair the committee.
Thank you, sir.
So please, I need feedback and reports. I'll be part of that committee because I'm informed already. So we need a feedback from that committee. Secretary, please take note within the first quarter on the progress of that assignment. You should meet, please remember the chairman, inform them and brief him about this nomination so that they'll be able to work on this particular assignment. So don't wait for captain, don't wait for ESCO. We have freed you to do the assignment. God help you. Yes, CP United. Yes, sir. Prince Babajide Ajibade Charles.
I stand on existing protocol. That suggestion made by Otumba and Captain Prince Past Captain Adenito, it's not a thing that you're going to tell them by mouth. You need to write to these people.
Babalawo, that's why the committee that we put in official notice request. Okay. The committee will work. They will not go by words of mouth. They will.
The ESCO need to write. You write personally.
We write to the committee. They will carry our requests.
Not to the committee, to those person involved.
No, we write. Definitely, we will write to nominate them. In brief, then we are talking about letter for nomination as a member of that committee. Is that what you are talking about? They are talking about two things here.
It's just not nominate. It's plea. You let them know that you are pleading for them to help.
That's what I'm saying. No, you are talking about. The House is talking about one thing. You are talking about something else. You are talking about those people we are going to meet And the House is talking about the people that we have nominated.
I'm talking of people nominated. I'm talking of Fayemiwo. I'm talking of Olagusoye and others.
Okay, well noted, sir. Thank you so much. 4.6. I think we have announced this in the House and we have celebrated this. We put it on our platform about the official registrations of our trustees. The range sheet 4.7. We have not been able to get a sponsor for this. And I'll be happy if we can possibly get a sponsor. There are so many projects to be done. If we can get a sponsor in the House that can key into that tonight. 5.3, I think we a little bit try on this today because we somehow circulated the minutes before. We still improve on this, 5.3, 5.4. .6, 5.7, I think we have handled this, and the people involved have paid their rent. 5.8 on the whole sponsorship and B-Boss, we still talk about it at the forums night, of the need for us to take this serious and to employ people that, in short, this first quarter, we are going to call back all the hosts and possibly reassigned. And we have been appealing. Out of this 6 million, it was not just only 2 million that we were able to recover as at last week. So that's a great improvement on us. $9.7. I think we have addressed this because we are able to install electricity generation, which has actually taken care of this. 9.8 to 9.1 level on the design of the cart pathway. And we still want to employ. And Secretary, please write officially again to the people involved. Architect Fakunle, Architect Bashiru Ayinde, and Engineer Owe Ajibola to please give us their reports within the first quarter of the new financial year. $9.13, $9.14. These are being addressed based on the mandate given to me to weave into the ladies section, which is a critical and worrisome section in the club. And contrary to the rumors that so many people were carrying about, we actually met and we looked at a lot of issues affecting the ladies section. They came up with 2 proposals at the end of that minute. That special meeting on 2 different occasions, they were calling for the scrapping of the ladies sections department, and some were calling for the suspensions of the ladies sections at them. And during that process, there was a request of nomination of Mrs. Oshin to resolve the lingering issues within the ladies sections. But the ESCO deliberated on this, and we are of the opinion that even based on the meeting we had with them, that if we even bring an angel into that caretaker committee, they are not ready to move. So it's only the ESCO that has the power to dissolve that lady caretaker committee. The ESCO appointed is the caretaker committee and we can equally dissolve. But in the interest of peace, we just allow them to, the situation to die down and see if, to manage the situation over time. So, because the committee actually dissolved themselves technically by members pulling out, and we have, the time is already closing to the end of the financial year, so why the need? And wait for the AGM and present their requisition and see what can be done if they are asking for their freedom that they don't want to assist as a leading session, or if they still want to gather themselves together and talk to themselves and bring themselves together. So that was the feedback from the assignment that was given to me. So the ESCO in no way didn't dissolve the Lady Caretaker Committee as it was rumored, and I didn't personally call for the meeting as it was rumored. It was based on the fallout of the Aviale meeting, which I'm responding to now. Going back to 9.15, we appreciated Mr. Kainde Sumbo for that generous donation of 2 fire extinguishers. And during the process, during the financial year too, we have actually installed and beef up our security and fire mechanism in the club. And we now have them installed around the corners. You can see them here, and their directions in case of any fire hazard to gather members on the way out. But we pray we now have such by the grace of God. 9.17. Otumba Bimbola Davis, please.
Mike Apo, I think you just read a report as to the ladies section. You said they are making requisition, and you are saying maybe when we get to when we have an AGM, we can take a decision. Is it possible for us to actually discuss it briefly?
And after LOB, please.
Oh, okay.
If there is need for that. 9.17, we want to thank God we are working on the installation of CCTV to also improve our safety and security within the club. And that will be through with that by next week. Past Captain Akin from Layo, please.
Captain, distinguished golfers. On this issue of CCTV, be careful about my privacy. I saw some wire being put in place at the entrance and part of the pavilion here last week. And I asked them, what are these meant for? They said the club want to put on CCTV. Is it to expose me or to cover me?
To see so how much Glenfiddich you are drinking.
That's what I'm asking. Even drinking as a civil and public servant, drinking about 6 bottles of beer is not even ethical. So are you trying to expose me? So that's what I'm asking.
My past captain, there is no need for you to worry because even in our various houses, we have CCTV.
I'm just asking.
And what I'm explaining, sir. Actually, in a club like this, for security reasons, and we are not taking it lightly because the security nature of it is not going to be handled by just anybody. In case of any emergency, let me tell you something that always happens. Even on my captain's table, they always steal my drinks. By the time I'm seeing my guest off, the last time I was seeing, the day I was seeing Teslim off, and even His Excellency out. By the time I come back, they will have taken the drinks on the table.
That probably will be show of love. That will be show of love from members of the club. I don't see that as stealing.
But I'm just telling you, there is no way something will happen in the club. We will not be able to refer to who has actually done this, who have actually, stole something from one area or the other. So,
I'm not drinking 6 bottles.
We are not bothered about how many bottles you are going to take in the club. because there will be no reference for that.
It's not even limited to that. It's not
Yes.
limited to that.
Yes.
And I have a lot of
Oh,
friends who belong to that class.
no, please.
So what I'm saying...
Before we can get access
sir,
to replay,
sir.
I understand.
Apple, we are in the majority. Sir, Captain, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. You might say it might be controlled.
Yes.
But however, it will be in the database.
It will be
in a database.
Yes.
And it can be used for whatever purposes that they might want to use it for. I will advise
Yes.
it should be more active, maybe from 9, 10, after we might have left the club. Because putting it on, we probably minimize our patronage, the patronage of some of us in this club. Otumba, who is our patron in that regard?
Please, I want to assure you not to be afraid of your...
That's my contribution, sir.
That your privacy in that regards. There is no club that doesn't have CCTV, so our own will not be an exception to that.
My capo.
Yes, sir.
I think I've been blackmailed here.
You said?
I'm being blackmailed.
Yes.
I don't drink. I only smoke. What else?
You carry your Joe.
And I'm a designer. I measure sizes.
Okay, that's good. So if Otuba is not complaining, I think we are good to go. Thank you so much. Let's move forward. Engineer Jimon Ojo.
My capo, sir.
Yes, sir.
In addition to what sponsor I just said, I'm an engineer, sir. This camera, if it is external and internal one, we need to know the area that this thing, yes, sir, I'm very serious. I'm very serious about it, sir. Someone might use it. It might not be now. We know this is a social club. We need to do it. We need to be guided, please, sir. If we are going to put I'm not saying we should not put camera in our house. If you are going to put camera, external camera, you might not put it everywhere. Maybe the one at the back, the one that will look here, then we should know where are we putting it. It's very, very important.
It is not an hidden camera. There is one here. This is the point.
Where I'm going, sir. Some of us.
Yes.
Some of us.
Yes.
In order to support my mentor. Sir, there are some of us that some loaded. That load, so that someone will not use the load against us. Thank you.
We are going to control it. Even in no reason for visitation to that database. So it's going to be continuously wiped up because of the what's it called this? Where it's being kept? These terabytes that they use. The hard disk. The hard disk will be wiped off over time. In your hotel that you go to, if I will know you don't use cloth for your activities. In those hotels that you go to, they have not used it against you. So no, they are exposing themselves. So OJ, in your hotel, are you not using it in your hotel there? Definitely, we don't have room here. At the entrance, you are captured. In the bar and reception, you are captured. The same thing here. So we don't have it in the toilet. We don't have it in the changing room. We don't have it anywhere. It's just locations where we can see people, public areas, people that denied what they have done. That truly, you slapped me. I didn't slap you. We can refer back to that.
My captain, sir, I want to say this. The issue of security is very important, irrespective of whatever may be our other pleasures. Security is primary. And we will need to understand that for those who are merchants of this, we will need to understand that we will need to start containerizing our cargo in such a way that your way be have CCTV camera protecting all of us.
Thank you. I want to believe that you know that the whole world is listening to this gentleman's club. So we are moving on. Thank you for that approval. On the 9.21, on the issue of range, we want to thank God that you have started work on that range, and we are hopeful that in this first quarter, in short, maybe from next month, we start using it for teeing off. We have one for artificial grass, and the other one we have just planted the. So I will discuss with the resident pro, and all other things. We have a committee that is working on that, and within the first quarter too, I want to look forward to their reports as far as the progress. And I've technically appointed, solicit for the support of Architect Fakunle to help in the mobilization of funds towards kickstarting that project. It took us roughly 1 point something or 2 million even to do, whether it's going to be a waste or not. Let's see this land, how it looks like. Because the fear is that if you do it now, what happens, you are not using it. So, and there are so many walls, or where to tee off, and whether from the back or from this direction, but we must start somewhere and try various approaches, and whatever that will come to stay, we'll see as time goes on. So I'm leaving it to the committee. So please sit on it seriously and advise as time goes on. Within the first quarter, we want to see progress on that range, and we are moving on and not going back on it. Thank you. Then on the 9.23, on the review of the club ethics of Ibadan Golf Club, and because of indiscipline that is somehow rampant in the club now, I want to suggest that we set up I think the disciplinary committee can equally look into this. I don't think there's another need for review or setting up another special committee. We want to give this task to members of the disciplinary committee to look into the ethics and code of conduct of the club and review it as much as possible. So that's the work and task for them. It's not only to task of vendors, but to 9.25, this is still in view, and we want to make sure it is constitutionally back up, and at the due time, it will be made possible by the grace of Almighty God. So that's the end of the matters arising from the minute. Any other comments on this before we move to the next item, which is the Treasurer's report? Okay. Professor Temitope Alonge, please.
Regarding the golf pathway and cart restriction. So I think there is a difference between the suggestion. When the rains are very, very heavy, then we need to push the cart restriction a lot further away from the apron and green. So there's cart pathway, which you can create, which sometimes can be concrete, sometimes it can be ordinary floor. Then there is a cart restriction. So the committee, sir, that is looking into it should please take into cognizance this suggestion and probably begin to implement it now. And I know those who have worked in the oil and gas, they have a different flags coloration. Because the moment you see a very tiny little red flag on the floor, it means don't come too close to this area, so that we do not damage around the green or around the apron. I just thought I should chip that in because I wasn't here at the last meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for that wonderful observation. Cart pathway and cart restriction. And even the competition secretary, I'm coming, please. The competition secretary, in a way to wait for those designing the carts, cost committee, cost officer, cost committee, and the competition secretary, it's actually for the cost officer. Should please look into that with a matter of urgency and come up with restriction. And should please, within 1 month, advise us on this red flag for those people using carts. So they will know the limits and the boundaries by which they need to put their carts. Thank you for that wonderful praise. I'm coming, sir. 9. Oh, on 924, we are doing good with UBA. So that's anything I didn't mention, because we are doing good with them. So we are patronizing them. We are their customers. We are their number one client. As sir, in Ibadan now with our IDDA and turnover. So we will still improve our patronage, sir. Just bear with us. So we are looking at some of the packages that I will discuss with the branch or the zonal manager on some of the packages that we can put in play that can help them. Like this new bar system that we are operating now, they can just build a card for us. So you have a specialized ATM card for your bar. You don't need to, anytime you are coming to the bar, you just load money into that one at the beginning of the month, 20,000 UBA card. So that's your bar account. So no need to, so that you can see, you can track the record of your expenses on drinks, on bar. So you need to merge it with other expenses that, so once you know this one, you just bring only that UBA is the only card you'll be bringing out for spending. So I think that would be a good development that we should look into. Prince Bayo, Adenitor, please.
Mr. Captain, sir. Often at times when we hold meeting like this, and maybe in the recent past, I've always suggested something strongly, which I think is not too late ahead of this meeting, so that it will reduce the quantity of time and improve the quality of submissions and interaction at this level. We have to make it an AGM resolution. There must be a minimum time that AGM materials must be ready. We see.
Even we just had the final report as 2 days ago. So, but we employing them that they will better coming on time again, so that at least 1 week to the end of the financial year, we have gotten the report ready. So please, I said it earlier on that we have improved slightly, but we can do more than this as you have suggested. Then on the other issues, we actually have to take those bulletproof or action points henceforth, so that's why secretary, all those action points, please, let's have them as bulletproof for effective follow-up within 1 week after this meeting. So that the more we see it, the more we know, remind those people that are involved of the feedbacks that we are expecting from them, and to ginger them to sit up. Thank you. Past Captain Abimbola Davis from secondary school. Otumba Abimbola Davis, please.
Excuse me. Awalo Mailewe United Brothers School. I was the captain then.
In dream.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, let me say, I want to support past Captain Adenito on his statement. However, the question that should be asked is, when is the financial year ends in the club?
We have said this over and over time. Otumba Abimbola Davis, if you look at it ends on annual report. Please check it. Check it and answer it, sir. No. That means you are not reading, even though the financial year ends on the 31st of March, but our auditing report ends on 28th of February. We have said it over and over.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
If it ends 2 months before, then one month before,
yes,
I think maybe there will be a need for amendment so that the auditors will be able to come in time, so that the report is ready ahead of time. And then you can be able to post this.
We have said that, Otumba Abimbola Davis, that we are employing our auditors to. They came in, I think, precisely mid-April. They came in mid-April. So maybe mid-March, rather. Maybe they will be coming from first week or second week, so that they can finish the job on time, so that we will not be in rush for anything. So that's well noted. Thank you. Dr. Kaudi Fashola, please.
Captain,
and observe other protocol. I think the issue of laying of accounts, we need to move.
The issue of
laying. The account they brought in accounting is laying of accounts.
Okay.
The issue of laying of accounts, we need to bring it to a standard global practices. Accounts cannot be discussed when it's not laid 21 days to that meeting. And that is the rule. And the auditors, I discussed with him, and they know it. UBA account came out today. Our end of the year was December. Audit account is in the public. We do interim audit by September. They close by December. So I advised our auditors to come in for interim audit. Maybe 2 months before, what they need is just to consolidate the figure at the end of this time. Then this account needs to be sent to members so that we will review it 21 days before this meeting will come up. I think that's the best global best practice. And this club is turning international. In the future, organizations, agencies, grant donors will request for our account. I have some fundamental which we will discuss when we are discussing the account, even with the auditors too. So I think we need to start to move from the present situations to a global best practice situation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. That's noted for action. Past Captain Olumide Regional, please.
Captain, fellow golfers, I want to take us back to what Professor Lunge observed earlier. That red marker for cats should be all year round, not only in the rainy season, because there's a lot of golf played around the green. Thank you.
Okay, that's well noted. Course officer, incoming course officer to please take note. Architect Fakunle, please.
Govers all. I'm actually interested in the course. There's nowhere in the world that there's no course rules. Cartways should be carved out. It's not necessary that it should be concreted. It can be carved out maybe 2 meters away from the edges, determine the edges that will can take 2 cars at the same time. And we can pour enough laterite, ramper it well, and pour granite and make it stable enough for cars to go on it. Then, I've never seen anywhere, apart from IGC and Tiger Golf Club, that they take cart up onto the green. This is not right. We said this thing last year, and we are repeating it again. Please, Captain, we are going to another year. Let's be cooperative with each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that wonderful contribution. The accusing finger should be pointed at you and I because we are the one riding the cart. So, even in the next quarter, there will be restrictions, possible restrictions for the usage of carts, even for our competitions. So please, the cart users should look forward towards that, so that we'll be on the same page. For match play and other possible competitions, we want to make sure that the usage of carts to play are being regularized and right in order. Otuba Bibola Davis, so that we can move forward. Last point, please.
Capo, sorry about this. I've never taken my card to the green before, but I want to. You need to warn past Captain Akinfunmilayo. He said I'm using a tricycle.
For that observation that I've already talked about it and which you are bringing me back, 4 bottles of energy, 6 have a 6 energy whatever on my table right now for my ESCO, please. Bar, please meet him up. And for the house, 2 cartons because today is thank God it's Friday. So you will support the committee. We thank God it's Friday, as usual. So, sir? Sir? Overrule, please. Next to Captain's Treasurer's report, please. Treasurer, Honorable Treasurers, please. Treasurer.
Governors Hall, the captain, the patron, trustees present, past captains present, members of the executive committee, fellow golfers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to present the Treasurer's report on the audited financial statement of our great club for the year ended 28 February 2023. As shown, you have the major highlights of the accounts there. And we have a comparison between 2023 February and that of last year, 2022. The difference in figures and percentage difference. Balance sheet. For the year ended, our fixed asset net of depreciation is 186,601,000, as against the figure for last year of 172,664,000, with a difference of 13,939,000. And that gives an increase of about 8.07%. Our net current assets for the year ended stood at 60,978,000, compared to previous year of 40.964 million, with a positive difference of 20.014, and that gives a percentage increase of about 48.86. Our accumulated fund also stood at 247.579 million, as against previous years of 213.628, translating into a difference of 33,951,000. That gives about 15.89%. For the income and expenditure, our income for 2023 stood at 89.539 million, as against 75.5457 of previous years, a difference of 14.082. In Naira terms, 18.66 in percentages. However, our expenditure for the current year stood at 55.588 as against the previous year of 43.325. As you can see, expenditure has increased by about 12.2. And that gives about 28.3%. At the end of the day, we have a surplus for the year 2023 of 33.951 as against 32.132 of previous year, with a difference of 1.819. Percentage terms, we have 5.66. As explained earlier, the total income stood at 89.539474 for the period under review as against 75,457,026 of previous year. This slide shows a summary of results, which of course corresponds to the major highlights I've shown earlier on. The major components of income, as you can see, in the audited account already submitted, I just want to give a summary. Subscription and admission fees was about 56.315. Donation of assets, 10.527. Other income, lockers, genset levies, you have that as 22.696, and that gives a total of 89.539. The further analysis of surplus from competitions, donations towards club development, as well as other income are stated in the auditor reports. Expenditure. Our total expenditure of 55.588 as against previous years gives an increase of about 28.3. Major components of expenditure were staff salaries and allowances of 20.2, general repairs and cost maintenance of 5.7, diesel and oil of 4.018, electricity 1.083, new members expenses of 1.018, loss from bar of 3.5, golf lessons of 1.126, depreciation of 8.3251. You have a detailed expenses in the account. I hope you all have accounts with us. The difference will explain.
Silence, please. Silence, please. Don't be worried. Money has not. We have not lost any money. For some of us that are familiar with AGM, you know the rules of accounting as Papa. I know you are worried. You are concerned about your money. Money has not gone down the drain. So, thank you.
The significant increase that we have in expenditure was basically as a result of galloping inflation currently being experienced in the country, with attendant increases in cost of goods and services, most especially in the area of energy costs. Our investment on solar energy during the year reduced our consumption of diesel and IBEDC drastically. Otherwise, our energy costs will have doubled, and our surplus for the year will have been drastically reduced. Nonetheless, various cost-saving efforts have been put in place to reduce expenditures, and the full effects of all these measures will reflect in the foreseeable future. Turn with me to page 11 of the audited accounts, and you see a detailed analysis of bar trading accounts for the year under review. You will notice that we recorded a gross turnover of 62.085 and a gross profit of 12.487. However, with a total expenses of 16.033, a net deficit of 3.546556 was recorded for the year.
This is due mainly to the increase in the cost of energy, especially diesel, and the agreed technical percentage that was charged into buy accounts. To discountenance that and charge at a reduced percentage, the bar operations will have turned into a reasonable surplus. We've also grown the assets of our club to 247.578 from a total asset base of 213.627 for the previous year. And that was a whopping addition of 33 million, 186. In conclusion, part of what, of course, are shown in the audited account is the 5-year financial summary. And you can find that on page 15 of the audited financial statement. And you will observe that the performance within the last 5 years have been on the increase on law parameters, be it total assets, accumulated fund, gross income, and net surpluses. We cannot overemphasize the importance of revenue generation, as well as introduction of cost-saving measures in keeping our great club afloat in this current dispensation of rising cost of goods and services, as well as dwindling purchasing powers in the country. I therefore want to enjoin the cooperation of all our members as we introduce some of these cost-saving measures, and also in the areas of your generous donation towards our various programs and developmental projects whenever the need arises. I want to therefore sincerely thank all those that have been contributing and donating generously towards the development of our great club. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, the Honorable Treasurer. That's the Treasurer's report. We'll listen to the auditor's report so we can now take them together. Auditors, please.
Captain and other members of the executive committee, great golfers, greetings from Bekatili, Nigeria Chartered Accountants. Before I start, I just want to make a remark on the issue of attending to the audit earlier than we came. You see, certain things are beyond our control. It depends on when we are invited. And then when we finish the audit, there are procedures that we must do to ensure that the figures we are going to sign, we can attest to them before anybody. And a major thing is the bank secularization letters that we sent out. That is an independent confirmation of the bank balances. As you see, the account is 65 million. We cannot just sign an account with that huge amount without receiving sufficient independent confirmation from the bankers. So until we satisfy ourselves, we won't just sign an account because, and if there's need for delay, we'll communicate that to management. Thank you very much. So, going to the accounts itself, on page 1, we have the officers and advisors, their names, address, the bankers, some of them, and then auditors. Honestly, the treasurer have done justice to some of the things I would have loved to speak on, especially in terms of the balance sheet and the income statement. The balance sheet is on page 5. Like it's noted, the fixed assets have grown from 173 million to 187 million, and that is about 40 million increase, representing 8%. And then the accumulated fund
which shows the actual growth in terms of stability of the club has also increased from 204 million to 248 million. And that is 34 million increase in the year under review. On page 6, you have the operating statement of the club. This gives details of the income of the club during the year and the expenses. And a major one there is the subscriptions of members. It increased from 34 million to 56 million. And that is about 22 million increase, 65% increase. In fact, we were put on a query and we confirmed that it is because of the increase in subscription numbers and then and the amount, and then members wanted to take advantage of certain initiative by the ESCO in the year under review. And going to the, so that gives a total income of 90 million as against 75 million in the preceding year. And the surplus for the year is 34 million as against 32 million in the preceding year. All these figures, if you go to the notes on page 8 to 13, you will see how these figures are spoken to, how we arrive at them, the details are there. And so, the next page is the cash flow statement. It's a technical one. It shows the movement of actual cash during the year in the club operations. And so I will not want to bother you with that. And then going to our report, which is on page 2. That is the report of the auditor on the financial statement of the golf club as at 28th of February 2023. We have audited the financial statements of the club, which comprises the balance sheet as at February 2023, the income and expenditure accounts, statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and also the financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement gives a true and fair view of the financial position of the club as at 28 February 2023. His financial performance and his cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with the provisions of both CAMA 2020 and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria 2011. And the basis of our opinion is in the next paragraph. We have conducted our audit in accordance with the international standards on auditing standards. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statements section of this report. We are independent of the club. Somebody was asking me some time ago that I should have been a member of this club or any of our partners. From inception, we felt that being member may jeopardize our independence. And that is why we have not joined this club. And so that paragraph is also confirming our independence related to our role as auditor of the club. We are independent of the club within the meaning of international standards on auditing, ISA, issued by the International Audit and Assurance Standards Board, IAASB, and have fulfilled our other responsibility, other those ethical requirements. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate for us to provide a basis for our opinion. Going concern, the club financial statement have been prepared using the going concern basis of accounting. The use of this basis of accounting is appropriate unless management either intends to liquidate the club or to cease operations and has no realistic alternative but to do so. Management has not identified a material uncertainty that may cause significant doubt on the club's ability to continue as a going concern, and accordingly, none is disclosed in the financial statements. Based on our audit of the financial statements, we also have we have also not identified such a material or sanctity. Responsibilities of the Executive Committee for the financial statements. The committee is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of these financial statements, which are in compliance with the requirements of both the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act number 6 of 2011 and the Companies and Other Matters Act 2020. This responsibility includes designing, implementing, and maintaining internal control relevant to the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements that are free from material misstatements, selecting and applying appropriate accounting policies, and making accounting estimates that are reasonable in the financial statements. Our responsibilities is on the next page. Our responsibility is to express an independent opinion on these financial statements based on our audit. We conducted our audit in accordance with the international standards on auditing. Those standards require that we comply with ethical requirements and plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance that the financial statements are free from material misstatements. An audit involves performing procedures to obtain audit evidence about the amounts and disclosures in the financial statements. The procedures selected depend on the auditor's judgment, including the assessment of the risk of material misstatement of the financial statements. In making those risk assessments, we consider internal control relevant to the club's preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the club's internal control. An audit also includes evaluating the appropriateness of accounting policies used and the reasonableness of accounting estimates made by the Executive Committee, as well as evaluating the overall presentation of the financial statements. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate for us to express the opinion we have given. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. CAMA requires that in carrying out our audit, we consider a report to you the following matters. We confirm that we...
Thank you so much, our auditor. We have listened to the treasurer's report as well as the auditor's report. So questions are welcome from the house. Let me start with Architect Fakunle first, before I come to the financial group.
Go over us all again.
Thank you.
My understanding of fixed assets from construction perspective is an asset that are not movable. For example, fixed assets should be this building that we are seated. I wonder where you get the figure of 186,601 as the value of our fixed assets. Who are the quantity surveyor or the valuers who values for you to arrive at 186? Because there's no way, and even mediocres in the field of building construction industry, I will not know that the assets that we have here is over 500 million. So I don't know how you get this figure. Thank you very much.
Do you want to
thank you, sir.
Okay.
If you go to IAS 16, the definition you give to fixed assets is not what you give to it. The motor vehicle you drive is fixed assets. The computers you use are described as fixed assets, the safety as furniture. However, in terms of buildings, like you said, there's what we call management letter, which we wrote on the account that were given to the ESCO, which they responded to. We also made mention of the fact that the buildings should be properly valued by an expert so that that value is what we rely on. But so far, so good. The value is based on what we obtain from the purchase, invoice, and receipts gotten from third parties. The land is there, sir. But what I'm saying, the fixed access is not just limited to buildings. No.
Alaji Kweki Wale, please.
Governor, so I just want to support and maybe put more explanatory notes for the fixed assets. Usually in accounting, you have the book value of your fixed assets, which probably will have been at the time of purchase or the time of whenever you valued it. And if there have been improvements on that fixed asset, you probably will recognize just the additional cost of the improvements on that fixed assets. But with time, because of inflation, definitely value of stuffs, assets, properties goes up. And until a revaluation exercise is done, by the club, maybe the agent will approve a revaluation exercise to value at the existing prices of things as of today, then we have to rely on the book value, which will give us a trend analysis of position of things. So that for us, because we are not paying tax and we are not having issues with tax issues and all that. Yeah, we can do revaluation, but and then there is no capital appreciation for us also, in terms of being a company where you can say you can get reimbursements and deduct your taxes and all that. Then probably if you do revaluation, it's going to be an additional cost to us from the quantity surveyors or whoever is going to. So we have to look at the cost implication also and what we intend to achieve benefits in terms of revaluing the assets for book purposes, or we leave it as it is because when there's no benefit to us, whether it's 500 million in our books or whether it's 187 million in our books. Since it's a trend analysis that is showing us what is happening, which is the basis for depreciation, which we are doing also.
Thank you for that wonderful and explanatory analysis. Dr. Kayode Fashola, please.
Thank you, Captain. Let me talk on fixed assets. And our auditor said something that we didn't note. He said he gave us management letter that was not responded to. It was responded to. And the valuation was enhanced. And did they value it? Okay, I think let's make progress. Maybe in the future, we allow our accountants to come earlier, and some of these assets, let's value them, and let's have current value for what we have. Because like a club like this, to IFRS 9, International Reporting Standard, and that's what is being used all over the world. Americans make it compulsory. They throw it to all the countries, and it's being adopted everywhere. In fact, all companies in Nigeria, all banks everywhere, the account must be in the same proportion or standard. This account, if I want to compare this place with, say, Ikoyi Club, it's not comparable in terms of figures. Because the standard of which you measure it is different from what we are measuring here. And I think going forward, we need to convert our account to International Financial Reporting Standard, IFRS 9. That's number one. Number two, let me go to the account itself. And I want to ask our auditor some questions. Who prepared the account? The management. If you go to page 5, there's none of the management that signed the account. The account was signed by the captain, the secretary, and the treasurer. The Financial Reporting Council governance code states those who prepare the account must sign it. So one of the senior management staff of this place must have signed and probably the captain. I think we need to know that going forward, so that this account can be presented outside this environment. Like it is now, if you take this to Financial Reporting Council, they will throw it back and throw it in the dustbin. And that is the truth. And our accountants, they know that for sure. Secondly, we need also to get Financial Reporting Council code for those signing our account. Like the captain is supposed to have his code. Let's move to page 3. Let's go to page 3. If you go to page 3, our auditor has a code by which it can be referred to in the Office of Financial Reporting Council. So please, I think it's an advice that has come from our auditors to the management that the captain should have financial reporting code and the manager who is supposed to co-sign with him. I want to suggest going forward, the management that prepare the account must sign and the captain co-sign. We don't need the signature of the treasurer nor the secretary to sign our financial reports. Next. Then, okay, we have talked on fixed assets. I picked some figure in the financials, and I'm a bit concerned by somebody who is close to financial figures. I saw on page 9, item 3, debtors and repayment. Why should we have bad debtors, about 46,000? If we are led to drink, you must have your money in your pocket. And if you go to the bar, you must pay. So why should an account bear debtors of 46,000? I think that is not tidy, it's not ethical, and it's not what's supposed to be seen for an account of an international standard club like this. And let's move forward. On page 11. Page 11, I happen to be a director in Transcorp Hilton Hotel, and I know the highest revenue generation unit is bar and beverages, food bar.
There are different standards. So what the takeaway from your comment there will be, we are supposed to be guided by the ISS in terms of figure compilation, IFRS, and that is, you see, IFRS, we have not prepared this according to IFRS because it requires consultancy. We do it, and we do it for a cost to convert. I think it took effect from 2008, and so, yes, but because this is a club that is not statutorily bound, that is why this has still been prepared in the normal gap. So, and the IFRS require, and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria also require the person responsible for the account itself, in terms of the chief executive, in this case is the captain, And then the person responsible for the figures, in this case, is the treasurer. And if you go to the balance sheet, is their names that appear, their position appears there for them to sign. And then in terms of the assets initially, sir, I forgot to mention the fact that if you buy an asset, 100 million yesterday, because of depreciation, a friction of time, even apart from land that the International Financial Reporting Standard said should not be depreciated, even buildings, they were. So you depreciate them even at a minimal rate. So that reduces the value as time goes on. Then in terms of the bars, I agree with you that the bars, like I discussed with him, I said for the bar to make profit, you have to raise the prices you charge for the drinks. Some of us will go outside to drink. If you go to a Pleasure Summit now, I'm sure a bottle of Start go for 1,000 naira. You are not charging that here. So, yes, because there are other costs that are associated with the bar. That is why the bar is recording loss. And like I told you, I've been on the audit of this club for years. So we know the issue. There was a time we even set up investigation to know the cause. And these are some of the things that came up. Then in terms of, you refer to my IFRC code. Sir, if you decide to do that, that means every captain that comes and every treasurer that comes that are going to sign the account will be registering with the Financial Reporting Council at a cost to the club. The process is very long. I've been doing for one company in Ibadan for the past 5 years. IFRC have not given us, have not allocated the number. So you will continue to pay that cost as captains and treasurers comes in. So we feel that those are avoidable costs. Since you are not statutorily banned, why don't you maintain it this way instead of captains and treasurers signing the going for annual registration with IFRC? And then you pay subscription on the registration. I pay subscription annually. So once they register, even if they have gone, the club will continue to pay that registration on them, even the retired or had gone at this thing. So I think it's something the club should look into and see whether it's necessary or not. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are still on the, before Treasurer threw more light on the bad debtors. Actually, it's supposed to be a zero figure. One else, please. And I want to blame our members because if we know the battle and wars that we fight over bad debtors, to the extent that we are trying to publish their name on our platforms. And when members come around, as of yesterday, something happened that there was a report from the bar staff. The member was owing and said, we have made a, that's why it took us time to put up the new software. And the staff politely told them, you are owing the club, we cannot serve you, please go and clean up your bill so that we can serve you based on the new software. I know what the guy did. Based on the report of the bar staff, he just threw the bottle at her. The plastic container, and I've said, put it in writing officially, as that particular member is going to face a disciplinary. So, because our members should take it easy with our bar staff. There is no reason when you buy, you don't want to pay. You go to a supermarket, do you buy and you don't pay? You come here, you will drink, they will come and ask you for money. It's another thing, you'll be telling stories. We can give you privilege of 1 or 2 days to clean up your account, but not owing us, because unintentionally, you can be owing the bar. Maybe you could just have some guests, but right now, with the software we have now, it's no pay, no drinks. And I want to believe by next financial year report, we are not going to have any figure as per bar debtors on the account. That's on that. As per the negative bar laws that we talk about, is a technical thing that I believe the treasurers will explain. Because to my knowledge, we know we always put in some percentages on the bar account, as if say the bar is standing on its own. We take it from the club account and say, okay, let's run it as an entity. So we put those charges on the bar as if say you are paying for electricity, you are paying for diesel. Please, one house, please. As if say you are paying for diesel, you are paying for electricity, you are paying for some other things. Staff salary. So these are things that we inject into the bar so that we portray, it will not actually see us as a profit-making venture in terms of bar. We're actually making good profit in bar. So maybe, Treasurer, you throw more light on that, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Captain. I just want to, of course, re-emphasize the issue of bad debt. If everybody knows the kind of effort that we put in to ensure that we have a reasonable figure towards the end of the year. There have been instances here where bad debtors figure rose astronomically to close to 1 million. Have 49,000 or thereabout here. It's a lot of effort. And just like the Captain rightly said, if all members pay for what they buy within a reasonable period, then things will go on very fine. Talking about the profits from bar, I'm sure that's where a lot of people are concerned, they are agitated. Technically, when you buy and you open shop that you are selling drinks, you are expected to charge VAT. And we have not been charging VAT on any of our drinks here. The efforts to even try and recover some of the purchase cost of some of our drinks is a lot of effort. There have been instances where they agreed 20% or 30% on top of cost price. Became an issue before we could even increase marginally some of those products. Yeah, issues have been around, are we buying right? As much as possible, we buy right. The only challenge that we have, because of our volume, is that we cannot buy directly from the manufacturers. We can't buy directly because of our volume from MBL. So what they've done for us is to attach us to one of their major distributors, who, by virtue of the volume that it takes from them, also translate some of those margins to us by way of reduction in cost prices compared to others. And that's where, as much as possible, that we buy from, especially when it comes to MPA products. So we'll continue to ensure that we buy right, so that even when we agree that we're going to put 20% margin per bottle, we will be able to, of course, realize reasonable margin on volume. Also, just like the Captain said, the cost of diesel and energy, even for this current year, was about 12 million. It will have been more than that if we have not, of course, invested on solar. The same diesel is what we use here. The same diesel is what we use on the coast. And to that extent, we've agreed here that 70% of energy cost is borne by the bar. And when you look at the cost of diesel and light alone, charged to bar, the total is about 12 million. So if it is countenance 12 million, or we have agreed to charge at a reasonable lower percentage, then the bar will have made a profit. Or if we have decided that the whole cost of energy is not shared on bar, that means that the 12 million that we charge will have translated our profit to about 9 million from bar operations. So technically, that's why I mentioned it. There's an arrangement, there's an agreed technical percentage that we charge on bar to ensure that we don't, of course, declare profit. If any taxman comes here tomorrow and sees that you are selling beer and you are not declaring profit, we show them our own. But if you have declared profit and they ask us to come and pay tax on it, it's going to be an additional what? An additional burden on the club. You can imagine the percentage of VAT at 7.5% that we will have, of course, paid on a 62 million turnover. I hope I've been able to answer some of the challenges here.
Professor Tevitope Alunge, please.
Captain, sir, and other protocols. I'm very happy with all the various contributions. Sir, can I make one suggestion regarding the energy consumption? You've been marvelous in reducing the energy cost with all the efforts you put in place. Sir, there are solar-powered chillers. There are solar-powered freezers. I've been using them for more than 10 years. Some of them are standalone units so that you do not, load them onto the lighting system. On the long run, they will cut down the cost even far more, further down, just to complement the efforts you're doing. So if we have solar-powered chillers and then we have solar-powered, freezers as single units because they come alone, then it will further cut down the cost of energy consumption in the bar. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. The incoming House and Bar, please take note of that. Mr. Benson, please.
Thank you, Captain. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, I've had, if you're in a club, once where I've been sacked by part of it. Now we have a situation where a member somebody and he's going to report that and probably sack some.
Because everybody is in business to break even. And we all know that we have people who run similar enterprises in town and goes home smiling. Number 4, I've discovered that there's no burglar proof in this bar. And that has led to privileges and leakages over time. I wonder whether we have a roller shutter here now. Because I was here one morning when a soldier was caught for stealing some of our drinks. Yes. Yes, I was here. And I was also told that that's not the first time that such an issue will arise. I wonder why we as elites here will keep our flag open for anybody to just come overnight and do a bazaar. Thank you. As someone who has been totally committed to increasing the assets of this club, I'm a little bit worried and disappointed that the cost of this LG television that was donated on the 1st of August is not stated as part of the assets. It is also on record that I got a free sponsorship of Wi-Fi to this club by Tizeti. It's not also added as part of our assets. I think it is time that we wake up our records and accounting. And may I seize this opportunity to say that to ensure that this club, our history is well tracked, I donate on an annual basis a diary to this club to record all events and activities so that in future when our children want to write the history of Ibadan Golf Club, they have easy reference to materials to use. Finally, sir, in the past, and as the practice is in most major clubs all over Nigeria, the donors board is always conspicuously displayed in every club. I used to be a marketer to tell people when I bring guests here who doesn't play golf, like the day I brought J.K. Gazama here, I got him to donate 250,000 naira, all because his name will be here forever. I can also recall that on this spot, I convinced the then Chief of Army Staff, Dan Bazao, to donate to this club so that his name will be on that board, so that when his children and grandchildren comes in future, they will see it. All those facilities have been taken off due to the construction that took place over here in the last 1 or 2 years. I think we urgently need to restore this. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much for that observation. I think like we said yesterday, from the last question, we have assured the House that we try and put back the donors and friends of the club board. So please, in the first, it was because of the innovation that some of those things were. Because of the locations, we are actually looking for a place that will not disfigure the beauty of this great club. And that particular entrance point is what we are looking at, but rain is giving us another headache here. But, sir, I'm assuring you within the first quarter, we are going to fix it out. Then, I think the treasurer also actually gave the reason that we are not really making laws as per bar account. He explained it technically in the course of his discussion. It's just because we are just trying to treat it as a 3,000 bar as a business venture, and it's the kind of percentage that we are putting on the house and bar. So please, we are not making laws on the house and bar. Let it be clear on our mind. Then you mentioned, sir.
I like to recall that some 10, 15 years back in this club, when this problem arose, all we did every month is that they paste, even in the times of panic, they will paste there the income and surplus for every month. Now, we have gone to social media and platform. Let every member see what are the purchases and what are the income every month. So at least we have a feeling that we have a bar that is alive, not a bar where they cannot break even. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So also is the minutes of the ESCO. Minutes of executive committee meeting are supposed to be published so that nothing goes out as a rumor. Let members have a feel of the way you are managing them. Thank you so much. Transparency. Thank you.
That's well noted. Then on the aspect of donations, all those things that you mentioned are actually captured in our report. But by the time the captain is giving his report, this is part of the additional equipment fixtures and co. They are all captured in the asset. All donations, there is none of them that we didn't actually recognize. I think we have to move on because of our time. So that does, can we move a motion for the adoptions of the Treasurer Auditor's report, please? Dr. Kayode Fashola, please.
I so move for the adoption of the auditor's report.
Thank you so much.
I second it. Shade Ajana.
Okay.
Seconded.
Thank you so much. The next item on the agenda is Captain's report. Thank you so much, sir. Going to the captain's report at this annual general meeting of Ibadan Golf Club, taking place today, Friday, 31st March 2023. There is an error of title there by the secretary. Time it as Aviali. Apologies about that. The patron, members of the board of trustees, past captains, past lady captains, members of the executive committee, governors all. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the annual general meeting of our great club, called in compliance with our Article 27.1 and 27.6 of the Constitution. First and foremost, I give glory to the Almighty God for His grace to be alive and to witness today's meeting, in spite of the harsh and unpalatable economics and political happenings, as well as its devastating impacts on our lives and society at large. On our lives, so there's a road off there. I equally want to sincerely appreciate and thank you all for the privilege, trust, and confidence reposed in me as the captain, as well as in the entire executive committee during this tenure. This report will basically address the performance of the executive committee for the past 1 year, starting from 1st of April 2022 to 28th of February 2023, as contained here under. 1. Visitation. Introduction as above. 2. Visitation. Clubhouse and development. Golf course maintenance. Competition. Membership growth. And conclusion. Second item, the ESCO paid courtesy visit to our patron, General Officer Commanding Major General A.B. Omosoje, as part of the club's culture for the new executive committee to pay homage to our landlord, and also as part of our core goal of maintaining relationship with 2 divs of the Nigerian Army. Going to clubhouse and development. Significant steps have been taken in adding quality value to the club assets by carrying out the underlisted. First is the commissioning of the new administrative building constructed and donated by Olatunji Abiodun Adediran, SAN. Secondly is the procurement and installations of access control machine donated by Mr. Tunji Oladosu, and configuration of the access card for the easy access of members, which also double as a member identity card. Third is the installation of the solar system to power the access control device donated by Mr. Ukaibe, Chairman, NextGen Energy. Fourth is the installation of main solar system to power the club, partly supported by the captain. The fifth one is the installation of LED screen display donated by Mr. Abiodun Latunji SCN. Sixth one, donation of cushion chairs and seats at the VIP lounge and bar pavilion donated by the Nigeria Brewery PSC. Installation of another internet service provider to power the LED screen. The LED screen display is it is an anonymous donation. Installation of a smart TV 65 inches new set by the June celebrants. That was what we were referring to. It was actually captured in the financial year. Repairing of the club and repainting of the club and its premises. Beautification and reconstruction of the interlocks at the club entrance. Renovation of the staff toilet. Reconstruction of falling fence in 715 and Memorial Garden. Donation of wireless landline phone donated by Mr. Bayo Aderinto. Donation of 2 fire extinguishers by Mr. Sumbo Kende, going to golf course maintenance. The following major achievements were recorded on the course during the period under review. Procurement and replacements of 2 Tiger Fairway mower engine that were done for over 3 years and was funded by the generous donations from club members. We'll get there later to appreciate the donors. Purchase of a new saw machine, procurement of chemicals, one-force, fertilizer, paraforce, and co. Purchase of tough tiger blades and accessory spare parts. Overhauling and repair of the second tractor to support the existing one. Receipt of additional 2 brush cutter steel brand donated by Mr. Bimbo Wolabi, as well as Alaji Ademola Adegbaye, aka Jason. Procurement of additional 3 brush cutters, steel cutter. Receipt of additional fairly used lawnmower being donated by Dr. Kadi Fashola. Competition. The ongoing harsh economic recessions and unstable political atmosphere, with its devastating impact in our nation, has made it virtually difficult to source for corporate sponsorship. Even though we are still not giving up and following up on some of them with good promises, and we are optimistic that they will be secure and materialize very soon. Abe, we have endeavored to keep the flag flying through the underlisted tournament and various kitties, which have been proudly sponsored by members and friends of the club. See the attached table to be displayed later. There's a page for the competition missing place. Caller, I think you have that on the, can you display that please for the competition? Apologies about that, please. Can you come in, Stella, please? Competition. That's one thing. We have about 21 competitions that were played. The first, starting from 23rd of April, that particular page will soon be circulated now. Starting from 23rd April 2022 with Lady Captain Sign Out Kitty, May-Day Club Anniversary, Dr. Olumiwa Olusanya at 88 Birthday Kitty, Barrister Abiodun Olatunji Adediran, Administrative Bidding Golf Tournament, Women's Golf Day, Democracy Day Kitty, Captains Inaugural Tournament, Ed Ekabe Kitty, Prince JP Osola at 84, Inka BSA Memorial Invitational, Caddies Competition 2022, Ola Ibironke Memorial Kitty, Independence Day Kitty, 7th Sheyi Makinde Supportive Pro Invitational and Amateur Open, Nigeria Golf Federation Southwestern Zone Championship 2022, 5th Cancer Awareness Golf Tournament, Inter-Kitty Group Competition, Oliole Festival Golf Tournament 2022 maiden edition, Club Match Championship Final and End of the Year Kitty, Engineer Busoya Luku at 55th Birthday Kitty, Commissioning of Barrister S.S. Salami Administrative Building, and the final one on that list, which make the 21st competition play, is the Cross Country Golf Challenge, maiden edition. The membership drive and admission. A total of 42 members. Okay, in conclusion, okay, sorry, please. A total of 42 new members were successfully screened by the Membership Development Committee, duly confirmed by the Executive Committee, and had their formal induction on 2nd December 2022. Permit therefore to appreciate the Membership Committee for their efforts to ensure that proven and quality members are admitted into the club. Can you please make a copy of that page? Why are you going to miss that out? Though we have not been able to achieve much as expected, but we thank God, we thank the Almighty God that we are not where we used to be or where we were before. We envision to do more than this in the next time we are going into, and we are however very committed and motivated to ensure that we witness more development and achievements towards the club in all its ramifications by God's grace. I can but sincerely express my profound gratitude and appreciation for the unflinching support, cooperation, and unalloyed loyalty of members of the Executive Committee, as well as to every members of the club in general. Gentlemen and ladies, I reiterate again that there are still plenty of works and projects to be done. And as we look up unto God and you for your support and cooperation, as usual, we can say, yes, we can. By the grace of the living God, we deliver on our major promises. But remember that God, okay, that's the final page. Remember that God will not come down from heaven or send his angels to do them, but rather use great men and women like you, who are rightly seated here to accomplish those tasks or objectives. Let therefore no one says there's nothing that he or she can do or give. For if you all look deeply down inside of us, we have something to give, be it in cash, kind advice, love, or words of encouragement, rather than destructive criticisms that can move our great club forward and make it an enviable one globally. Whatever therefore your hand finds to do, kindly do it now with all your might, without any further hesitation for time. At this juncture, I want to appreciate all friends of the club, whether as individuals, especially those who have contributed to the course equipment levy, game book, pro development, CD attached, and corporate bodies in the likes of World Lilies, Event Center, UBA, Zenith Bank, Book and Sport Limited, who have consistently been supporting and been there for us and giving, who have constantly been there for us in giving and supporting this club generously in one way or the other since we came on board. I must indeed let you know that you have made this club what it is today. And my earnest prayer for you all is that God will continue to bless and prosper you abundantly. I therefore want to enjoy and challenge us to continue in such giving spirit to the needs of our great club and thereby adding community and societal values. I equally want to appreciate our wonderful staff, be it administrative, bar, and cost workers, for the good jobs they are doing. They have all done well and contributed to the success of this administration. Finally, I can but also thank you for taking your time to attend this annual general meeting. God bless you all. In the attached, thank you so much. In the attached, which will be circulated, I have the, can you please display that, please? The donations list, because this is the time to give account of people that have generously donated over time. This is okay. Let we come. Before that, we have some before that. No. Okay, go down. Okay. You can go to the first one. Let me start with first one. Maintenance of industry building. These are that where we have 2 million by Chief Abiodun Olatunji. Next line. Yes. CSO Oyo State Government. Otumba Bivola Davis. Mr. B. Adesoya. No name group. Towards Mr. Ashiru family. This is not my slide. Go to my slide, please. Okay, I will roll it out and I will put it on the notice board. Donation towards Captain Service Furniture. We have Chief Babatunde Agbeja, 200,000. My Ferry Self, 304,000. Committee of Game Book. The total sum realized was 875,000. Starting from Mr. Yolola Yode, 50,000. Tayo Johnson, 50,000. Adeboya Ademola, 100,000. Mr. Gbenga Awe, 50,000. Chief Agbeja, 100,000. Mr. Omotayo Gundari, 25,000. Chief Edward Efe, 50,000. Mr. Fakunle Olukayode, 25,000. Mr. Rashid Adegun, 25,000. Mr. Labioda Lushakin, 50,000. Professor Jide Oweye, 100,000. Chief Fesi Osigwe, 50. Mr. Oladoyin Olabode, 50. Mr. Ayinka Dada, 100,000. And my Obu self, 50,000. Donation towards pro development course. That's for our pro that we are sending on training now. Mrs. Toyin Badejo, 100,000. Mr. Ali Ajaj, 50,000. Mr. Fakunle Olukayode, 100,000. Chief Babatunde Olatunde Agbeja, 200,000. Mr. Tunji Oladosu, 402,500. Making a total of 862,500 to support the first phase of our pro development. We are still going to pay another 862,500 for the second phase. So we are still going to call on generous members of this house to please contribute towards that. Towards donation towards club development on CCTV, we only have one from Magaji Lukman Olaleyin, the sum of 500,000, and we have a balance of 400,000 to go on that. We have a donation of 4 extractor by Otumba Deji Oshibogun. And concerning the donation towards course equipment and course equipment purchase, we have 43 members that contributed towards this. We circulate, please circulate that list, and we put it on platform for you to know that we acknowledge your generous donations. The total sum of 6,625,000 were realized. In terms of, we have 3,615,000 as Naira donations by members, and the sum of 5,800,000 in terms of dollar donations. And the bulk of it is from Chief Babatunde Agbeja, the sum of $5,000 towards this equipment. And we were able to spend 11,079,000.49, which is equivalent to 6,682,200 to purchase spindle assembly for the Tough Tiger, cutter blade, and the scarp engine, the 2 engines for those Tough Tigers that have been down for over 3 years, making a total of $11,080. So we have just a deficit balance of 57,200 to pay off, and a cash surplus of $400 in our dollars account. We have 3 million plus from people that actually promised and they have not redeemed their pledges. So we are going to put those names on the board for you to be gingered to please pay up your pledge. It's a promise. And they always say promise is a debt. So on that note, I think I've given accounts of all people that have donated. No money has gone down the drain. And if you're in doubt of any, you can ask questions, please. So, like what? Okay, we have hold on that. So on that note, I think I've come to the end of my report. Thank you so much. Wasting, move to the next item on the agenda. Okay, questions. Okay, adoptions of captain's report, please. Otubambola Davis. Oh. I'm coming, please. Sorry, before my captain.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hakim. In the, what did you, donation for equipment? Okay. That will be, we will look at where is the outstanding list for people that have not paid their pledge. Let me get that one from Stella, please. Maybe it's in that one which they have not captured. So if you have paid, all well and good, sir. We will remove it from the outstanding people who have not paid. Apology for that, please. Past Captain Akinfunmilayo, please.
Thank you, Mr. Captain, distinguished golfers. While I understand that the financial report submitted ended 20th March 2023, hence the tractor donated by His Excellency was not captured as part of the asset. But yours ended 31st March 2023. And that tractor was given about 2-3 weeks ago. I just want to know why it wasn't captured in your report. Thank you. But the question, so I just want to know, my captain, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have actually put that on our platform, but we don't want to load this financial year with so many. Okay. We sincerely appreciate. We are even going to on a courtesy visit to His Excellency to. You said what? Okay. We want to capture in the minutes of this meeting the generous and wonderful donation of His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde for fulfilling part of his pledge by donating a tractor worth 26 million to this great club. A round of applause for him, please. And we want to appreciate and thank all the linked persons in person of our own past captain, Akinfunmilayo, for always being there for us to make sure that he gets into good contact with Oga to make sure he is committed to redeem this pledge. Just like Barrister Bayo Sodo and Mr. Dari Adeleke too. So we appreciate your good gesture towards that. God will continue to bless you. That's what we have said. You might not give money, but there is something for everybody to give. Follow up, advice, words of encouragement towards making sure that we leave this club forward. Thank you so much. I've mentioned him now. And the people at the back, Engineer Jimon Uju. So on that note, adoption of Captain's report, please.
Mr. Captain, sir, on behalf of all of us here, I want to move a motion that this account of stewardship, which has attracted a lot of applause, will be 1.0. It is our hope, faith, and belief that you do better on full time at 2.0. Full time, I repeat, on behalf of all the ESCO members, we want to see all of you deliver to us on full time, no part-time ESCO member. On that note, I move the motion that your captaincy report should be adopted. Thank you.
Thank you so
Please,
much.
mark my comments. Seconded by Dr. Olusoye.
I second the motion.
Thank you so much, sir. We are moving forward. Now we move to the next item on the agenda, which is agenda 7, item number 7, appointment of disciplinary committee members. I want to say at this particular juncture that this is a very, very sensitive committee in the life of this great club. Please, can we have one house down the non-smoking session, please? And I want to enjoin us during the course of nominations to please look through the Constitution for the basic requirement to qualify for nomination into this committee. There is a great deal of indiscipline in our club, which is supposed to be a premium club and a gentleman's club. And I want to believe that in the next tenure that we are going to ensure strict discipline in this great club. Strict discipline according to our constitution in this great club. We might have to step on toes, but don't step on our toes. So, the people that are here, at least 5 paid up members in compliance with Article 29.1 of our Constitution. At least 5, a disciplinary committee of 5 paid up members of good standing and reputation in the club shall be appointed at this annual general meeting or half-yearly. And such members of committee must have been members for at least 5 years. So minimum 5 years, you must have been members of this great club, and you must have been a person of impeccable character. That is very, very key. You must not have run foul of the law of this great club, one time or the other being suspended or faced disciplinary committee or any allegation being raised concerning you. Your hands must have been clean. So check people that you are being nominated. I've had instances whereby, having finished nomination, they will come back to me and tell me, oh, that person is not, you're supposed to have disqualified him, but you appointed him here. He has faced disciplinary committee for having done this or having done that. Please, if you know of anything any member has committed which we are going to nominate, the person we are going to nominate tonight, before we give approval for it, just raise up and let's know that so that we can disqualify or approve. On that note, I want to throw the floor open for the nomination of disciplinary committee members. Disciplinary committee members. Please, again, I reiterate the constitution. The constitutional requirement, 5 members, 5 must have paid off for at least 5 years. Person of incapable characters and good standing in this great club, who has not faced any disciplinary or whatsoever or been penalized for one thing or the other. So your hands must have been clean. On that note, I want to start with the chairman of the electoral committee first. Prince Larry Adeyemo.
I want to nominate Alhaji Lateef Sipopo.
Alhaji Lateef Junaid. Have you checked the constitutional requirements? At least 5 paid up members. Please, we are 5 paid up member, 5 paid up for at least 5 years. His character is unquestionable in nature. If you are in support of, your hands up, please. Supported. If you are against, can I see your hands up, please? So we have the nomination of CP Latif Junad, Mr. Ukai Ibe, please.
The captain, thanks for the honor of making this nomination. I would like to nominate Mrs. Temitope Alonge.
Mrs. Temitope Alonge, can we check up the concessional requirements? Quality control passed. Okay. Architect Fakunle, please.
I want to nominate past captain Prince Bayo Aderito.
Past captain Bayo, point of observation. Okay. Mr. Giwa Asuni, please.
My captain and members of Ibadan Golf Club. Mr. Bayo Aderito's name has been consistently mentioned here. We have other members. Let's give other members the chance to serve, please. Please, let's give other members.
Please, that is a nomination and we have a right to accept or not. So, if you are in support of Prince Bayo Aderito, please, can I see your hands up, please? If you are against that, can you raise up your hands, please? Prince Bayo Aderito has been nominated. Pastor Bumi Oladimeji.
Good evening. Please, I would like to nominate Barrister Sodo.
Barrister Bayo Sodo has been put up for nomination as a member of disciplinary committee. If you are in support, have you checked up the constitutional requirements? Is he up to 5 years in this club? Is it of impeccable character and questionable character? Has he ever gone any disciplinary or question? Is a what? On that note, if you are in support, can you say yes? If you are against, no. On that note, Barrister Bayo Sodo has been nominated. How many ladies we have? At least 4. At least 5. Architect Bashiru Ayinde.
Adesumono.
No.
You cannot speak for yourself, please.
No, please. Please, sir, my captain, sir. Please, I appreciate your nomination, but please understand that I'm a trustee of a club.
Oh, on that note, is disqualified.
Thank
you
you very
cannot
much.
occupy 2 positions at the same time. Mr. Akunle Ladejobi, please. Mr. Akunle Ladejobi. You cannot serve 2 masters at the same time
Thank
because
you,
of the security and technology.
Thank you, my capo.
I would like to nominate Shakin Labiodun.
Mr. Shakin Labiodun. Can we check up the constitutional requirement, please? Are we in support of Mr. Shakin Labiodun, please? Any objection? We already have 5 paid-up members to be in this committee. 4 men and 1 woman. So, please, the future of this, I want to roll up the name again. The nominations are as follows. Retired but not tired CP Latif Junaid, Mrs. Temitope Alunge, Prince Bayo Aderinto, Barrister Sodo Titilayo, and Mr. Shakin Labiodun. So these are the 5 members that we have. And all them for the disciplinary lapses, any disciplinary lapses as far as this club is concerned. And I want to enjoy this disciplinary committee. Starting from our meeting, please, you should nominate subcommittee as, what do you call these people that pick people that are disturbing the peace of? People that will monitor the peace of our platform. So please, I'm charging you because we have various offenses that have been committed on this platform. The last function we had, one of the functions we had recently, while we are all seated here, we could hear, in short, the man just says, is that how this great club looks like? Members fighting on the club fatilium. So, we are not going to overlook any of these lapses henceforth. And if you are found guilty, so just check up yourselves before you run foul of the law of this great club. The future of this club, as far as discipline is concerned, is in the hands of these 5 people that we have appointed tonight. The next item is Internal Audit Committee. I want to sincerely apologize to the House and to this committee because I've never seen them functioning. Can I have the names of the people that were there before? I know Mr. Wale Koiki. Let's see. That's the last one. You can't be in that one. Internal audit. Members of the Internal Audit Committee before, they are Comrade Bayo Titi Loyal Sudo, Mr. Wale Koiki, Mr. Shakin Labiodun, Honorable Isaac Ishola, and Ms. Omolara Olaoshebikan. So, over to the floor now. They have not actually functioned, and we want to enjoy them this time around. We want to be having a quarterly report as per the performance of the club in terms of the auditing of our accounts and books over time. So they should not wait for anybody to call them for inauguration or the other. Or the treasurer has not called them in to work with him. The incoming treasurer, please, this new internal audit committee that I want to choose now, I want you to please make sure they function. And committees are now to give reports quarterly so that we can hold them responsible for any lapses. Yes, sir?
Mr. Captain, all protocols observed. We have been around for a long time. A serious matter deserves serious attention. The audit committee is always appointed by this body. They should also always come up with a report to half-yearly and annual general meetings. Maybe this will get them rolling. The experience in this club is that once you appoint people as members of audit committee, they go to sleep. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, you know the qualifications for the internal audit committee. You must, to some extent, have a accounting background and must be financially sound in nature. So please, I welcome nominations from the floor of the House. Mrs. Oshile, please.
Captain, with due respect, I am MS Oshile. Yes,
MS,
not Mrs.
MSc Oshile, please.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sumbo Oshile.
Okay.
LM51, and the fourth lady captain of this great cup. I nominate Alhaji Karim as a member of the audit committee.
Which Alhaji Karim? Okay. Mr. Alhaji Karim, constitutional requirement, is it being met? Not even, okay. Financial background? Okay. So, Mr. Akin, if you are part of us, please move forward if you want, or you stand up so that I can see you.
Mr. Captain, if you are reading my mind, precisely 31st of March 2009, this house suspended Wole Anifowoshe for staying in the bar drinking while we were deliberating on the future of this club. It pains me to the marrow to see my colleagues far that way, deliberating on the future of Nigeria while we are deliberating on the future of Ibadan Golf Club. I cannot indict them because they are all there seated. They are eminent members of this club. I'm not in a position to indict them, but just to draw our attention to what is going on. Having said that, I'm nominating Wale Koiki, 4C Hotel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was actually part of that member and is a financial guru. Mr. Wale Koiki has been nominated. Are we all in support? Yes. Those against? Captain Olumide, past Captain Olumide Oyediran. Please come up here with the mic. Hello? Come up here. Let him walk down here, please, and pick the mic.
Thank you very much. Past Captain Adeniton, just so you know, virtually everything that has been said here, I have been a part of while I was here. Thank you. So you don't categorize, please. Thank you. I would like to nominate Mr. Fashola.
Dr. Kayode Fashola.
Dr. Kayode Fashola.
CFA, FSA, as a member of Internal Audit Committee. At least our books figure can be balanced. Any opposition against that, please? On what ground? It's not a constitutional requirement for 5 years. 5 years is not a constitutional requirement for internal audit. So it's not in our constitution.
Captain members, I know my schedule, and this is an assignment that I think you better take it and do it rather than taking it and not function. I can serve in another committee, but audit committee, to me, in this environment and by what I have seen and observed and see, I think let me excuse myself for that. So I can serve in another committee.
Sir, that is not an excuse, please. The whole House nominated you to put in your web of experience concerning the accounting. What do you want to say? Are we in? What do you want to say? Benson, please.
So with due respect, when the internal auditors were here, you came up, you raised a lot of pertinent issues. You know, you showed your expertise, you showed a lot of emotions and concern for advancing the club. On this, sorry, I mean, so we need, it doesn't matter if you don't have the time, but you can serve as an advisor or something. So your nomination, please, if you truly want the club
thank you, Mr.
to move forward, please.
Are we in support of the nomination of those against? Should please say no. No, I can see Prince Bayo Adonito raising up his hand. Okay. Architect Fakule, please.
Governor, once again, I'm very glad that Dr. Fashola is among the audit committee. However, I have another auditor, chartered accountant, seated beside me here. Sarah Tax. So if we have all this all over, so why are we lacking in this
Our
thing?
bar will not be in ready.
Never. So I'm nominating Rashid Adigun.
So Mr. Rashid Adigun, in nomination for Internal Audit Committee. Are we all in support? Those against should say no. How many are there now? We have one more to go. We should have a lady amongst them because they are known for keeping money. Yes, Mrs.
I'm nominating MS Oshile.
Any accounting background? No. So please look at the constitutional requirements before you nominate. That's a state. I'm being whispered here to Mrs. Jide King. Does she have any accounting background? It doesn't make any difference. There's nothing, it's not in the constitution. No accounting background. Mrs. Grace Brown? No. Mr. Wale Olagoke? Mr. Wale Olagoke?
Thank you, my captain, sir. Information, please. Internal Audit Committee. The maximum number required, or minimum, is 2 to be of accounting background. Once you have 2 out of 5, any other person can be. Thank you.
Thank you for that observation. So we are through? Which one?
Minimum of 2.
So based on that, we have a nomination of Mrs. Oshile, Miss MSc Oshile. MS Oshile, nomination for Internal Audit Committee, so that our money can be in good position. Any objection towards that, please? Approval for that? Okay, here we go. So for the members of Internal Audit Committee, we have the following people. Alhaji Akin Karim, Alhaji Wale Koiki, Dr. Fashola Kayode, Alhaji Bashiru Adigun, and MS Oshil. Rashid Adigun, sorry, point of correction. On that note, we move to another very sensitive committee, which is membership committee. We have always been saying this is a gentleman's club, and the quality of members we have here is a determinant of who have admitted in at one point or the other. And with the way we are going in this club, we actually need to do a kind of screening and rescreening, even of our existing members, to know whether they are even qualified to be members in the house. So that membership committee, I want to enjoin that their task will not only be limited to new members. They should also help us to sanitize and review the behavior, character, and personality of our existing members, if it's in few, in questionable. So on that note, we move to, I open the floor will be open for nomination of membership committee. Mr. Benson, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kapo, the #1 citizen IGC. Well, like you said, membership is an integral, is a key part of this club. And I've seen a lot of people with integrity and a lot without integrity. I will not mention names. However, I would like to nominate architect Fakunle, popularly known as the King of Tiger, Fakir.
We have nomination of architect Fakunle Kayode as a member of membership committee. Is he allowed? Yes. Are we all in support? Yes. Those against should say no. Oh, wow. What Ilule? Thank you. Mrs. Temitope Alonge, please.
First of all, my captain, we need to know what the criteria for this particular day.
Actually, the criteria for the membership committee should stand as that one for, because it's not yet in our constitution. It was during one of our AGM. It usually the nomination is usually done by the second vice captain before. So that gives us room when we are doing this new constitution to come out with the criteria for them. But definitely we know that since it is a very sensitive and key committee in this great club, the qualities and merit should be as the same for those of disciplinary committee. Because if they are not of impeccable and good character in nature, they cannot serve in that committee.
That also means they have to be 5 years in the club? Is that what you're saying?
Not really necessarily.
No. I want to nominate Mrs. King, please. Mrs. King.
Mrs.
King.
King? There is no constitutional requirement that says somebody is not here, should not be nominated. It's not in our constitution. Subject to the approval. If she says no, we can turn the nomination down. It's not a constitutional requirement. So, if you are in support of Mrs. Jide King, your answer, can I hear yes? Okay. Colonel Sumonu, please.
I nominate Kazim Oseni.
Kazim Oseni, as a member of disciplinary, we must have new bloods in the system. Membership committee. Okay. That's the nomination on the floor of the House. If you are in support, can we say yes? Yes. Those against, no. Engineer Jimo.
Thank you, sir. I want to nominate Professor Alonge. Thank you, sir.
Is Ms. Alonge in the committee? Is she in the membership committee? No, we can't. We can't have two of them at the same time in the membership committee. No, where do we have Mrs. Alonge? Oh, it's in disciplinary committee. We have nomination of Professor Temitope Alonge as a member of membership committee. Those in support should say yes. Those against, one lule. Dr. Kayode Fashola, we have 4 members being nominated already. Please hold them responsible for any misbehavior of any members in this club. Quality of members, hold them responsible. Let them be no nonsense members to be in this committee. Dr. Kayode Fashola, please.
Captain, arising from your last statement, I may wish to nominate Mrs. Shade Ajala.
Mrs. Shade Ajala. How many ladies we have there? 2 men. If you are in support of Honorable Mrs. Shade Ajala from Ugumoso constituency, so please, if you are in support of this, can we have yes of members in the house? Yes. Those against? So I think we should be true. We have 5 members already, with the second vice captain, chairman of this committee making 6. I think we are good to go. And I want to enjoy this committee as well to please have a kind of drive to bring new members in, quality members, not... Sir?
I want to say something, sir.
Okay.
My captain, sir. The membership committee, as we have all said, is a very, very important committee. We should look at experienced, not new members in that committee. It is very important. It is what how do I call it? Not new members, 2 years as membership, 3 years. No, we have to look at seasoned and experienced members in that committee. My humble observation.
Well noted. Colonel Sumano, please.
Thank you very much, Kapo. Super D, your observation is very right. But at the same time, it is not too correct. There are very old members in this club whom some of us have identified and have asked questions as to how did they come into this club. So how long that you have been here does not determine how good you are. There are new members who have been wondering that, is this the kind of club that I come to join? So what do you do with that kind of member? Those are the kind of people that we even want into the committee so that they can begin to check who will come into the club to be older members in future. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful answer. Looking at the nomination list we have, I think we have a blend of at least 1 new members there. All other people have been long-standing members of this great club. And I believe they can do justice to recruitment of new members in our great club. What? Okay. Observation? Okay. Mr. Benson, please. Our time is fast. I'm going to close on this so we can move to the next item, please.
let the captains.
I gave you a mic to speak, please.
Thank you. I mean, I just wanted to. Point of observation. My captain, the membership drive and committee is very important to me myself, because when we join the club, we've come here to associate with like minds. So that department, sir, is very key. And you used one word that I'm going to hold you accountable for, which is, you said, to review membership. That word key, review, meaning if you're a member here and your behavior, maybe you think because you're a member and you're not in conformance of the club's etiquette, your membership can be reviewed. So I think some people think that the fact that they've been admitted into a club, no matter what they do, they get away with it. So please, I want to employ on the membership committee, devoid of sentiments and all that, because this club must move forward. Therefore, please, in your membership drive and review drive, please be very stern. Be very stern. Any member that is found wanting, including myself,
That's
I'm standing here,
well
please
noted.
do the needful. Thank you very much.
Past Captain Olumide, please. We are going to put that on our new constitution. That's we have the advantage of reviewing our constitution.
Thank you very much, Captain. There are some things that have been said that are not in our constitution. The membership committee does not have a right to review your membership. If anybody has a grouse with any member that falls short of the values of Ibadan Golf Club, there is an appropriate process that you will go through. Write a letter to the EXCO to be forwarded to the disciplinary committee, and they can take a decision. No membership committee has that singular right. The only thing they are allowed to do is to review your membership when you want to join the club. Thank you.
That's what I say in my last comment, that what he's asking for, we have that advantage when we put it in the new constitution, if it's going to be allowed to review or not. So I think we move on. We are through with the membership committee. So have I mentioned those 5 names? The 5 names we have there, we have Architect Faki, Mrs. Jide King, Mr. Kazim Hosseini, Professor Temitope Alonge, and Mrs. Shadi Ajala, right here. I will want to ask for, how many is this supposed to be? It's not necessarily 5. Ask for one past captain to be a member of this committee, please, to share. I want to write in support, please. Write in support. His Excellency Honorable Akinfunlayo. Are we all in support? Thank you so much. Next, we move to confirmation of live membership. Thank you.
Distinguished members, we have 4 applications for live membership. The ESCO worked on the applications, and we ratified and approved 3 out of the 4. And we announced the 3 members to us. Number 1 is Dr. SMS Lawani. And number 2 is Mr. Lanre Aroyewon. And number 3 is Mr. Gabriel Enewari. Those are the 3 people that ESCO approved for life membership of this club. Thank you.
Thank you. These 3 people have been thoroughly checked, screened, and qualified to be confirmed for life members. finally, we move to announcement of election results. I think we should do AOB. So at this juncture, I want to call on the chairman of the electoral committee and his team to please step forward while we step aside for them to present their report. Thank you so much. No, please, can I just take AOB, then we move to the announcement of electoral result, please. Please permit me indulgence. Please, the electoral committee, let's quickly take the AOB to discuss any arising issues. Then we move to the electoral announcement of election results. Past Captain, hold me the original, please.
Captain, distinguished golfers. Of recent, our golf course is very, very dirty. We have empty bottles of water.
Sorry, were you at the forum night? This was addressed, please.
I think my suggestion tonight might be different from what was spoken to.
Were you at the forum night?
I was not at the forum night because I haven't been in town.
Okay, please just say your suggestion without wasting time.
Okay, my suggestion is this, that we dedicate a specific, maybe 1 or 2 hours on any given day during the week for the caddies to go around to pick all the empty bottles. I'll tell you why this will happen. This would even make caddies not indulge in dropping bottles on their own or for whoever they are caddying for. It's a form of discipline that is transferred to the caddies from the get-go.
It's not the caddies that are dropping the bottles,
sir,
but the members.
Captain, fine. But I tell my caddy, put my empty bottles in my bag. When we get here, we'll remove it. Some people just give them the empty bottle. Those guys will ordinarily throw it away. But
so what
if
what is the member doing? If you give your carton bottle,
they might
and
not.
just throw
They
it
might
there,
not do it in front of them. What I'm trying to tell you is this: if a caddy is aware that they are going to spend 2 hours in the sun picking bottles, they will not throw it there in the first place.
Okay, that's well noted.
That's
and
my suggestion.
We have already suggested that even as a member, if you are walking past the course and you notice an empty bottle, tell your caddy to put it along in your whatsoever.
Captain,
please.
Captain, you are indulging members by doing that because I cannot. I've done it severally. I do it. I pick it up when I see it. I throw it in the bin or I put it in my bag. But then, God forbid, the bottle I've picked up or my caddy has picked up is carrying some form of disease. I will end up taking it home. I will suffer for somebody else's indiscipline.
Well taken,
so please,
and we look
let
into
us
that,
try
sir.
and do
But
that.
let members also be disciplined as not dropping their empty bottles anyhow. It is not the caddies that are dropping this, but members. And members playing in a team, you see your fellow colleague drum empty bottles, you are not taking any action, please take it. So why are we complaining? So please, if you notice any member dropping empty bottles or littering our course, blow whistle about that, and such person will face disciplinary committee. Dropping a bottle on the golf course can cost you suspension as far as we are concerned. Please take note. Yes, Mr. Alade Jobi.
Thank you, my couple. My own AOB is on security, safety of this environment. Now, I'll narrate what happened briefly. What happened one night? We were going home, and we saw this soldier coming all the way from the hut there on Oletin. He came. We saw the torch coming. They trekked like this, and they entered that gate into the car park. He came with 2 ladies. Now, when we were going out to the car park, 3 of us, we saw him enter that other gate, and he came into the bar, and there was nobody here anymore. So I told the security men at the gate, go now, go and march them back out. They have no right to enter, even with his guest. So now, what I've noticed is our car park, people just stray in anyhow, even from the barracks there. Several times I've gone to the car park and I met my car door unlocked, which I don't understand how it happened. So I think we should start putting measures, especially the car park. We need to know who has the right to be in that car park or not. Then there are so many guys who are there. Someone should go around and send them out. If you don't have a function in the car park, you should not be in the car park. And even here at night, when we leave, this place is so free that anyone can walk in from the field here and do anything here. So we should have someone always manning this place at night when we're not here. Thank you.
That's well noted. We have a hand on the online. Let's give privilege to our members on the. Who is that, please? Mr. Wale Oshungbon, all the way from Canada, the Honorable Second Vice Captain. Please open the house for him. Can we hear you, please?
Yes.
Unmute him, please, so that we can hear what he's saying.
Either been vandalized or removed. The few surviving ones are the concrete ones. And I will suggest probably we go back to that old colonial concrete one if we are afraid of vandalism of the metal chairs or the wooden one. In Ikeja, they have comfortable sheds. Although we don't have the traffic of Ikeja when we are playing here. But please, some of us still need at times to sit down and take a breather when we are playing around. That is the first thing. You have mentioned that the second one on the manifesto night. And I hope Bumi, our new senior course officer, will do very well with that. That is our tea box. Let's invest more in this coming year on the course, rather than aesthetics in the building or offices. Yeah, let's make our course enviable. Let people come here and realize that this is IGC. We have a wonderful terrain. We have a wonderful golf course. It will rain just twice, and the fairways will change. We are blessed. Thank you, my captain.
Thank you for wonderful observation. Course officer, we have a great work to do. Actually, we have commenced work on the extension of our T-buses. The budget for that work alone is 1 point something. And I want to raise nominations here tonight for that. We have all been talking, and you know the pulse of the club. And we have roll up names of people that have been supporting. They cannot do it alone. Rather than coming here and contributing, we need this, we need that, we can support us. We are actually depending on the inflow of 1 million that is being promised by His Excellency, governorship aspirant Teslim, Senator Teslim. So the money is a promise. So we want to enjoy Engineer Jimo Ojo as well as Dr. Kayode Fashola and Abimbola Davis to make sure they fulfill that promise by that 1 million coming into the account. Okay, we are starting donations towards T-Bus extensions. So please announce your donations. Mr. Soji Babalola. Okay.
Sorry, Captain, before the donations.
Yes.
There are some things that I observed about the tea boxes.
Yes.
For example, hole 2, hole 6, hole 5, and yes, those three in particular.
Yes.
There are trees planted around those tea boxes that have tap roots.
Yes.
They always suck the nutrient from those tea boxes.
And talk about that's why you didn't attend the.
I was not in town.
So
I came back
please,
from Abuja today.
Always ask for feedback.
There's nothing wrong. I should ask for feedback when I just came back this evening.
Okay.
So my contribution is not because I was not here.
Okay, your contribution is noted.
Hey,
First officer,
acknowledge
please.
it. Don't just dismiss it. Then also, the car park, please. We have multiple chairs sitting where cars should be parked. I think it's about time maybe we create a shed where drivers or security personnel can sit and they will not have to congregate the car park with their chairs. Thank you.
Good observation, and it should be looked into. He's trying to call me.
Yeah.
Just call him on his WhatsApp number.
My captain.
Yes, we are coming donations. To lead the floor is
to follow in the goodwill of my brother Bimbo Olabi. We friends of Bimbo Olabi, we are going to donate 3 grass cutters to the club this new administration.
Thank you so much. 3 grass cutters, steel grass cutter. Each one of them is about 350,000 or so now. So that's the million plus that has been donated towards maintaining our course. Donations towards T-Bus extension.
Captain.
Yes, sir.
I'm donating 100,000 naira.
Thank you so much. Dr. Kausde Fashola, 100,000. Yes.
I'm not an executive anymore, so I'm donating 20,000.
Thank you so much. Please take that. Yes, sir. 20,000, Professor. Retired but not tired, pensioner, CP, Latif Junior, sum of 30,000.
I'm also a pensioner.
Yes.
I'm donating 20,000.
Okay. These are redeemable pledges, please. Engineer Jimo.
Yes, sir. When I nominated my Oga, Professor Alonge, and because he has done 20, I will not go more than that because it's my Oga. I'm here putting that 20,000 naira from me. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, before we move it to platform, please step forward if you want to make a nomination, please.
I'm donating 10,000.
10,000 from, we have His Honorable Omotosho Omotola Alagad forever.
This club has done a lot for me, and I want to give back to the club. I will donate 100,000.
Thank you so much. You remember from the captain's speech that let nobody say there is nothing that you or I can do. We can all do something, no matter how little. At least it will take care of our expense. Mr. Jide King, please.
Good evening, governors all. Good evening. I will put 20,000 for the family.
Thank you so much. We continue that and move it over time so that after you, Dr. Duwale, then we now move to.
Because my brother just said something, I'm a senior handicap 28. All others are junior. I'm putting 10,000 to be 30,000 naira.
Okay. Adding 10,000. Dr. Duwale, please. Okay, Mrs. Grace Brown.
Yes, I'm donating 15,000.
Thank you so much. It's about will and determination. You see, remember the story. One thing about giving, remember this, which means nothing to us. Because it has not touched you. You have not felt it. It has not cost you. But if you donate from the heart of the giving, those are the givings you are talking about. Who is that? Who is that donating 100,000?
Hello.
Please take note of, all the way from Canada, Mr. Sunday. That is Tunde's friend. Okay.
Hello.
Dr. Duwale.
I'll donate 25,000.
Dr. Duwale, 25,000. Thank you so much. Architect Fakunle, please.
I would like to support with 20,000 naira.
Thank you, Mrs. Dorcas. Honorable Akifumlayo.
Yes. My captain, sir, I will support with 50,000 naira.
A round of applause for him. Architect Fakunle, please. Oh.
20,000 from me, sir.
With all these returns from Germany, that is not acceptable. At least $100. No, take the mic back to him. At least $100 from you from returns of Germany. So please don't do below what your AKA sponsor has donated.
My capo, sir.
Yes, sir.
I spend naira, I didn't spend dollar.
Thank you so much. I know tomorrow, Saturday, from all your customers, you can pay that pledge. Thank you.
Michael
Fakule.
05 IGC is one of the wicked oaths on this course.
Yes.
What I want to do there, that's myself, my good friend, Kunle, and Amos. Where's Amos? We are going to build a small shed there so that if it's raining, we don't have to run all the way down to O2.
Thank you. A round of applause for him, please. For them.
And
they have done it before, and now they are doing it again.
Thank you very much.
So we quite appreciate your generous gestures. So please, 05, retire but not tire CP Junior. Donation from you, please. No, okay. So we move it to platform.
I am supporting with 20,000.
Oh, thank you so much. The name, please.
Abdurrahim Bolaji.
Mr. Abdurrahim Bolaji. Okay. Please, let it not be by words of mouth. For those of you that promise us on the equipment donations that we clap for you, we publish that name for you to redeem your pledge. We put the account number and everything so that you can. Okay, we see it before the close of business tomorrow or before the end of tomorrow. The account number and the names of those that have pledged so that we continue to update it. So, any other AOB? Okay, Colonel Sumanu. Past Captain Colonel Sumanu, please.
Thank you very much, Captain, sir. I have 3 issues.
Yes.
1, I wrote a petition to the Electoral Committee. It is over 84 hours now. I have not gotten a response from the committee. I think that is not good. I'm not expecting or enforcing any action from the committee. But I think it is polite that when you write, when you have a doubt, and you put it into writing, that doubt must be cleared. I did not only put it on the platform, I submitted a hard copy at the secretariat, and it was handed over to, it was addressed to the chairman of the electoral committee, and I expect that by now I should have gotten a response on why my petition is wrong or right. That is that. For future, when a member has any issue and is committed into writing officially, there must also be official response.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 2, still on electoral matter, we have nominated members for 3 different committees here. And I remember very well that you stressed on integrity. A member of the committee misinformed the committee, which generated problem within the committee and also resulted into near crisis in the club. I want to crave the indulgence of the captain and the entire members of this club that that act is very, very unethical, very, very dishonorable, because we appointed every member of that committee based on our confidence in them, based on their personality, based on their integrity. For any member to commit such a dishonorable act, it must not go unnoticed and unpunished. So I want to move that the electoral committee must include that act in their report, and they should also make a report special to the disciplinary committee through the executive committee for appropriate action. That is that. Three, we have our medium of information, which are the IGC Notice Board, IGC Members Forum, IGC Players Forum, IGC Social Platform. The youngest member in this club cannot be less than 30 years old. Therefore, there is no baby in this club. We are all responsible men and women, gentlemen and ladies. The action by the admin of those platforms to remove a member or to gag a member or members from expressing their views on issues that are affecting the peace and progress of this club is not a good idea. It is very, very demeaning, very, very insulting. We must be allowed to express our views, because from there we will vent our anger and solutions will come. We will understand ourselves through discussions and debates. However, I do not support a situation where members will begin to use uncouth languages, insultive languages, denigrating languages. It is not acceptable. We must not encourage that from any member. But where we are discussing issues, whether it is in your favor or not, it is my own opinion. Express your own opinion. There are people who don't even know what we are discussing. From our discussion, they will take a position and they can make a contribution, which will definitely help the peace and progress of the club. So the idea of gagging members to say, don't talk, I don't want anybody to talk on this thing, I please beg the captain and the admins of those platforms to please desist from that. But like I said, where a member is beginning to behave or talk in gentlemanly, whatever you like, you can do to that member. I will not do it, and I will not encourage any member to do that. As the captain of this club, I have been insulted on the platform. I never removed anybody. I did not. And I did not encourage the admin to remove anybody. We have discussed issues. People have had their own views. It doesn't bother me. I say my own, you say your own. At the end of the day, we will have a clearer picture of the situation. But the idea of gagging members to say, don't talk. I don't want anybody to say anything about it or removing the member. Please let us avoid that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your observation. I want to say that we want to appreciate the effort of the admins on our platform. They are quite doing a good job. Some of us are very busy, and if not for the fact that they have been taking their time to put sanity on that platforms, what some of us are doing are quite terrible in nature. And I want to believe they just don't unnecessarily remove members from platform. We have rules and guidelines guiding those platforms. So if you are not flouting it, they are not just unnecessarily doing that. But we are not going to open our eyes when members begin to generate tensions, eat up the platform with unnecessary things, and not following the due process and unconstitutional process of asking for. You see, it has becoming an habitual thing which we are going to look into now. If you have any issues, follow the constitutional process of addressing it. You don't need to bring issues to platform. You don't need to bring issues. We should be disciplined enough. You have issues with me. I personally removed you from the platform, I didn't remove you from your platform. I removed your content from the platform because you wrote something already to electoral committee. So it's not a platform consumption. It's not for platform consumption. You should wait for their feedback, and rather than eating your politics, this time we are is a very sensitive period. But there are some other things that other people are doing, that if you let them uncautioned, they can turn this club, they can generate fire on the club, on the platform. So we continue to look into that. We can't get it right all the time, but let's appreciate what they are doing. And I believe the electoral committee, they have response to your letters and whatsoever. When they are giving to you their report, it's part of what they want to talk about. So let's not be too forward and preempt what they want to tell us in their report. I believe the people there, they have it as part of their report. Why they have not, because of the time factor, they have been having sleepless nights over these issues for the past 3 or 4 days. So I'm not talking on their behalf. I don't know what they are in their mind. If after they have presented their report and they have not addressed your issues, but I believe they are going to touch them. Without wasting further time, we want to move to the next item, and which is any point of observation, please. Past Captain Bayadorito and Ike, then we went.
Governor, we are privileged to have in our midst a world-renowned figure in health services. And God has kept him here tonight so that we can consult him free of charge. The wife has assured me that he's not going to go home until he answers this question. Number one, what is the position of smoking internationally in the public? Professor Temitope Alonge, can you please advise us so that this house will be well advised as to what policy we should adopt? Because if we are going global, we should start from somewhere. Thank you. That's my first question. Second one, sir. Freedom of information. We have a second vice captain here who left us or who has stopped seeing until rumors started milling. We are entitled to know the movement of people that we elect into these offices. Where there's transparency, where there's free, information, there will be no room for rumors. We deserve the right to know the movement of any of our executives. Thank you.
That's well noted, sir. Professor, sir.
Captain, sir, and the members of the club. The best global practice and the acceptable norm is that smokers should be locked into a smoking room. You are not allowed to smoke in the public. So you said that you create a room with or a photo cabin or aluminium, let them enter there and smoke themselves as much as they can. In the airports, we call them smoking zones. They're not supposed to do it publicly. They go in. If you're going on the streets, it's a different ball game from an enclosure or an environment where people are gathered. On the main road, it's assumed that it's dispersal of your smoke. But if it is in a gathering or a group or a club, they actually have a club room where they will call smokers' room. So they will enter there and smoke as much as they want to do. So the best global practice is either we create a photo cabin or we create an aluminium cage or get a room where they can stay and smoke.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are going to look into that, sir.
Governor, let me just round up because I brought him to give evidence, sir. And this is very crucial because we are getting this free of charge. In fact, I can see the wife tapping him that how much are you charging them for talking this much? When you talk at United Nations, we know how much you take home. Quickly, sir. The basis of this valuable professional advice, I'd like to move on this ground here tonight. That we must, as Ibadan Golf Club, ban smoking in the pavilion.
We will look into that, please. We'll look into that, please. We set up a committee to look into that. I have the Honorable Vice Captain on the line. Hello. One house, please. Please, Honorable Second Vice, can you go on? Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go on.
Okay, is it on Zoom or on this telephone, please?
Hello, one house, please. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on. Go on, Second Vice.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah.
Hello?
Okay, I just have one or two things and to respond to Vice Captain.
Honorable Vice Captain, that is noted. Don't worry. You are covered about your movement. It's just an observation. No need to stress yourself about that. Is that okay?
Okay. I just have a comment. I have a comment, please.
Okay.
I have a comment.
Go on.
Yeah. My comment is this. From the past experience that I had here. I believe I want to suggest, if it is going to be possible, for you to create a WhatsApp for all the past captains.
We have already created that, sir.
Included. Yes, if that has been done, whatever comment, whatever observation, I believe we can trash it before coming out to raise an issue generally on the platform. That can be addressed. That is one of the way forward that I think we can move forward.
Okay, that's well noted.
Secondly, I want to appeal to members the way we address ourselves on the platform. Yeah. The policy says if you say something, say something. Not until election time, where we have coming out to expose ourselves. We are all mature, just like Captain Sumonu said, that we are over 30 here. Yes, and we believe that for us, if there's anything, and for the progress of the club, we can call each other if you observe anything personally. Remember, I believe we can take that one forward, sir.
No problem. That's well noted, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much. Enjoy the weather over there. We are missing you. So, finally, Ike, and we close for the day.
My captain, standing on the existing protocol, what I want to say is about the elders of the club. When we came on board 1st of April 2022, what we made there on the handicap list is what we have been working with till date. But when I queried further, I realized that when the software was introduced, some of these elders' handicap were imputed on the software, but because that most of them are not actually playing a competitive golf, the software move their handicap off. So now, most of these elders still come around. Some of them are 70-something, 80, thereabouts. And they come in the morning to play. They don't play any competitive golf anymore. So what I want to say is this, because the past election, they were disenfranchised. They could not exercise their civic rights. And the golf rule says that if you are not servicing your handicap will go stale. But your handicap can never expire. So long that you submit your cards, your handicap will be reactivated. So now, going by the golf rule, we as the handicap committee cannot unilaterally install them back on the handicap list. But tonight, we just have some people seeking for life membership. So for you to be a life member, you must have contributed your quota to the club by being a member for 20 years and over 70. So I want to ask the house, with the permission of the house, if we can actually put those people that were life members in the club, if you can put them back on the handicap list. Because the truth is, those babas cannot play 18 holes. Most of them does not even play 9 holes. But it will not be nice. They still contribute their quota to the club. We take their money. I understand the younger ones that just want to come and drink. Just like when I came into the club, I was looking for where to drink. But those younger ones that do not want to play golf, we can put them aside. But the elderly ones that are 70 and above, we can just give them a waiver by putting them back on the club handicap list. If the club have gone ahead to make them a life member, I think putting them on the handicap list will not be a problem. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, past Captain Olumide Ediran.
Thank you very much. I happen to be a member of the Constitution Review Committee. Can I ask that we step that suggestion down right now for information that we have I have as a member of that committee. So let us step it down. It will be addressed. It will be addressed. We cannot share it here.
All right.
We cannot share it here.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of suggestions that we have received, and we're bringing it back to the House for ratification. We cannot circumvent some of those things here now. That is why I'm saying that. That's why I said information. Let us step it down. We do not intend to disenfranchise any member of this club. So let us leave it alone for now. Thank you.
Before we close, I want to appreciate members of the Constitutional Review Committee for the good job they have done and which they are doing. We're supposed to have ratified or adopt that constitution tonight, but because of the fact that they are running behind time, and because we have not put it on the public view for public consumption, for everybody to make their inputs. So within this first quarter, please, we want you to do that and post it. We'll make necessary adjustments for a new and better improved constitution. So that if you need to call an extraordinary meeting to adopt that constitution, we do. Yes?
As a collective, we decided that we do not want to belabor the House on this night.
Yes.
So we are going to present for the club to have an EGM just for the purpose of the ratification of those constitutional
But before
amendments.
then, we need public.
We definitely will let you have it without
so
a
that
doubt.
whatever input, whatever review,
we do not
can
we do not
critically
we do
and
not intend
holistically
to
look into
circumvent the will. We will do it
All right.
according to due process.
Thank you so much. Mr. Wale Olagoke.
Thank you, my captain. The issue brought up by the handicap officer is very important.
Anglican?
Handicap
Okay.
officer is very important. The new constitution we are expecting, we are still expecting it, is not operating right now. So the issue laid by handicap officers should be treated. And I think, because being a member of Ibadan Golf Club, anywhere you move around the world, they will ask of your handicap. How do you want those elderly men to feel like, I don't have an handicap or what? Being a club for over 10, 20, 30 years is a shame.
Anyway, without wasting further time, being the elderly section and there are other people and we have a criteria for that age, I want to let us move a motion that we include them in the handicap and we can move forward, please. Are we all in support? So please, let's have those lists of those people so that ESCO can ratify them and we can put them on there. Finally, we move to the announcement of election results. I welcome the chairman of the electoral committee to please take charge. In person of Prince. Yes, sir. Babalawo, time is against us.
Governors all, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to bring it up that there's a way you shut down the life, in quote, of our next school. You don't just walk out on the table and see somebody has just drink. No. I don't know, but I mean, there must be some vote. They are going out. By the time you come back, you are coming in as a new ESCO. The life of this ESCO is going. That's it.
So give the mic to him and let him. No, I want to machine, not us. Emma worry improvement, Emma worry. We look into all those things. We have a new course officer. Emma worry. Yes, Mr. Jide King, can you please express yourself?
Okay. Governors all, ladies and gentlemen, I think the life of this ESCO has just come to a conclusion right here. And then they have done a good job, and I think we have applauded them. It's not easy, even to manage the life on the platform that we discussed. So, on behalf of the whole House, can we please give this outgoing ESCO a good round of applause for a job well done. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think we hand over to Chairman Electoral Committee and his team, Prince Larry Adeyemo. You are most welcome, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, we have food. Maybe we should start serving the food now. So please bear with us. Thank you.
Governors Hall, I know it's been a long day. We've started this meeting since about 5:30. The time is past spent, so we will not waste much of your time. The result of the election 2023 will be announced by the Secretary. Omlareni.
Okay, Governors all. Sorry, we've been doing a lot today, so my voice. So the results of the election held today, 31st March 2023, at Ibadan Golf Club. We actually started at around 9 a.m. And then we finished at exactly 5 p.m. So we had the number of 62 members who participated in the election. And then we have the results this way. For captain, that's Captain Tuji Oladoso. He had 62 votes. Woo! That means he had all the people that came to vote, voted for him. And then the second vice, in person of Mr. Sheyi Alaba, he had 57 votes. Let's clap for him, it's not easy. Then the treasurer, in person of Mr. Mike Babalola, he had 58 votes. Okay? And then the fourth person, that's course officer, person of Pastor Bumi Oladimeji, he had 58 votes as well. Okay? So competition secretary, Pro Benalt Unduka, had 57 votes. The handicap officer, who seems to be the highest number after captain, a person of Alagolo, I call him Ukandu. He had 60 votes. So I think he's as popular as my captain. So any house and bar officer, Mr. Busayo Aluko, had 58 votes. And then the last but not the least, the only lady amongst all, that's the lady captain, in person of Mrs. Dokas Oluwatumishi, at the least, but she tried, 55 votes. So let's clap for everybody, 55. So all in all, we are 62 members who came to perform their civic role. And I really thank everybody for doing this. Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to our report, let me first of all answer past Captain Colonel Sumano. He sent a letter to us, yes. I want to apologize that we did not reply nor acknowledge. Couple of days ago, it's been hectic for us generally, and for me personally, it's been a sleepless night when some of our members wanted to cut my head. They are demanding for my head. I couldn't sleep, and I realized that when you are doing the right thing, a lot of people do not enjoy it. What is my offense? I confided in my brother, not that I campaigned on the pavilion. I confided on a brother. This is where I am, and they made a big deal out of it. Now, The secretary has read the votes. The report I'm supposed to read, but I don't want to read because my name is mentioned there several times. So I'm not in the right position to read this. So I'm going to give it to the secretary to read again. Please pardon me. Thank you.
It's a long report. We have about 13 pages.
It will tell you step by step what we did. It's important, please.
He said, can we do it on the platform? So then you can send in any query. Thank you, fantastic. God bless you.
Well, we thank you, Mr. Captain. The last ESCO has just been dissolved, and we want to just welcome the new executive of the club 2023-2024. The captain remains Mr. Tunji Oladosu. Round of applause for him, please. Our second vice captain, Mr. Sheyi Alaba. Our treasurer, Mike Babalola. Course officer, Pastor Bumiola Dimeji. Competition secretary, Mr. Bernard Unduka. Handicap officer, Ike Ukondo remains. House and Bar officer, Mr. Busayo Aluko. And the new lady captain, Dorcas Oluwatumishi. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. They can come back to their seat and give us their address. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the chairman of the electoral committee, in person of Prince Larry Adeyemo, and your entire team, retired CP Junite, Miss Omlara Olashibikon, who is a member? Mr. Babatunde Awodire, as well as Prince Alhaji Jase, Mohammed Adigbayi. We all thank you all for, and as well as architect Fakunle. We thank you so much for the wonderful jobs that you have done. I know it's quite been a tedious task, an assignment that the club has given to you, but you have successfully delivered. So we appreciate your good works. And I want to thank the whole house for believing in us by giving us the opportunity and privilege, most especially for some of us, to come back for the second time. It's not a family business, and it's a sacrificial work we are doing. Nobody is being paid salary. It's an opportunity course to make sure that we come here and add value to the growth and development of our club. So this confidence that you have in us, many are called, but few are chosen. I want to thank God we are amongst the few that you have chosen to lead this great club forward. We appreciate all contestants in this race, and we know their good time will surely come. So time and tide wait for nobody, and the race, as according to the Bible, is not to the swift, or the battle to the strong, but rather time and chance happen to them all. So at this time, on behalf of my entire team, I want to once again appreciate everybody in the house for believing in us and voting us in as member of the executive committee to steer the affairs of this great club and move it forward. The confidence that you have in us, I want to assure you tonight that we are not going to misuse it, abuse it, disgrace you, but rather we all put in our best. I want to believe we're having a strong team of professionals and expertise amongst us who will give in their webs of experience to make sure they add value. So if we come up with decisions, policies that affect you and I, it's not going to be unusual business again. This is how we have been doing it in the past, and this is how we continue to do it. The only thing constant is change. So this is generation and age of change. And whatever policies that we put in place, just cooperate with us, support us, and it's going to be for the betterment and upliftment of this club. On that note, I want to thank you once again for taking time to come to this annual general meeting and contribute your quota as usual. I want to say God bless you all. On that note, I want to call on anybody to move a motion for adjournment and a closing prayer to be made by Otumba Bimbola Davis, while Past Captain Olumidiran, you are moving a motion for adjournment. Who is seconding, please? Mr. Smith, moving a motion for adjournment. Seconding the motion for adjournment, please. No, they have. Past Captain Olumide moved. Mr. Smith seconded. So, on that note, we have come to the end of this AGM. Now I call on past captain of our secondary school, if you see around, Otumba Bimbola Davis, to please. He's already left. Okay. Mr. Akin Karim to lead us in opening prayer, please. In closing prayer. Thank you.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this lovely gathering, and it comes to the end now. As we move from here to our different houses, we ask for your safety, for your upkeeping, and by the time we come tomorrow, let's be in peace. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray.
Times have changed.